Parlay Cash.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't think that microphone was on. It's on. We're going. We're on the move. Let's have a day here. Your chance to win $1,000 here. The word is event. E-V-E-N-T, event. You have until 25 minutes after the hour to enter it on the Fanatic app or at 975thefanatic.com, or you can text it to the special contest short code 45911. One random entry wins $1,000 in this company-wide contest. Winners, we get a call from Beasley, so be sure to answer your phone. Contest rules at 975thefanatic.com. Fanatic Parlay Cash stood up by Iron Mountain Men's Health. 5 chances to win each weekday, 8 and 10 a.m. Your next chance with us at 12 noon. 3 and 5 p.m. Again, the word is event.
Middays with Marks. The voices you trust. John Marks, Sean Brace, and Ray Dunn. All Philadelphia, all day. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Welcome into Middays without Marks today. No Johnny Marks. I'm Ray Dunn. Sean Brace alongside me. Patricia Caputo producing the program. Good morning, Patricia. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good.
Glad you're good. I'm not.
A lot better than you. I was.
Yeah, I'm not. You know, I got the.
There's some guys dragging.
I got that today. I was ready for clincher day. I was ready for us to come in here full of energy, talking about the Flyers moving on. And Sean Brace, we just did not get that. We did not get that last night.
What happened? Good morning.
Good morning. Or morning, whatever you feel that this morning is. Now, a Game 6 to be played tomorrow night in Philadelphia. We got a lot to get to today. It's a real, I wish we could spread out everything that's happening right now. The NFL draft, I feel like I had very minimal interest in because of all the playoff games going on and the fact that I don't know who's going to be on this coaching staff for the Phillies come up when they start the game tonight at 6:40 down there at Citizens Bank Park.
Are you expecting changes?
I think I still am.
Okay.
And I think the reason why I'm still expecting change is because Girardi got the pink slip on a game day after an off day. I don't know if it's the manager, though. So we'll get to that because I think I'm still expecting changes. Maybe it's just me saying, hey, we're going to be on the air, and maybe we're going to get handed the breaking news. You know, you got to have that breaking news sounder ready to go today, Trish, because we might need it at some point.
Right now.
Okay, fantastic. Glad. But first, the big story on Action News.
Yes.
Last night.
Is this Action News?
This is Action. No, it's just 97.5 The Fanatic. Not quite. Not quite. The Flyers lose last night to the Penguins 3-2. They've now dropped back-to-back games. The series sits at 3-2. Coming back to Philadelphia, Sean Brace, is it time to be concerned?
No. Concerned? Yeah, you're frustrated. Concerned, take me down the avenue of being concerned. Does that mean I'm scared? Does that mean I'm worried about losing?
You might have to go get a dog.
No, yeah, I'm not concerned about this team blowing a 3-0 lead. I'm not worried about that right now. Am I frustrated if they didn't win last night?
Yeah.
Of course. That was a golden opportunity for them to get the job done a lot, like on Saturday. And they came up short. They came up small. I'm frustrated by the back-to-back games where the most ridiculous goal possible was scored. Like in Game 2, on Saturday night in Game 4 to start the second period, that goal, that was the difference maker. Vladar,
Yep.
His terrible luck. What are you going to do? Bad play, a little bit of combination of everything. And then what took place last night with that bounce off the glass, it gets caught in his pad and he drags it in. It's ridiculous, right? You can't script those sort of things. So was that the ultimate difference in the game like it was in Game 4, excuse me? I don't necessarily believe that. I want to give credit where credit is due. The Penguins are a desperate team, and they had to win last night's game. You know who didn't have to win last night's game? The Flyers.
I mean, they have to win one more to move on.
That
at
is
some
correct.
point.
Well, again, I am one of these people that pays attention to the odds a lot more than others. The Flyers were never, ever, ever, ever being discussed, looked at, viewed from the odds maker's perspective of sweeping the Pittsburgh Penguins led by Sidney Crosby and company. It was never in the cards. They had the opportunity. I get it. Maybe with a team that's not as youthful as this one is, sure, could have been possible. But I was never thinking that was the way that this was going to go before the series started. 6, Ray, it was always Flyers in 6.
I like that. I'm in on that.
It was always Flyers in 6. And if you're going to give me a thumbnail from 10 to 2 right here on 97.5 The Fanatic, Middays without John Marks, Ray Dunn, that's the thumbnail. It was always Flyers in 6. Let's go.
Clip it, post it. It was always Flyers in 6. That's where we're at today. And we're going to play for you coming up in the next segment. We got Rick Tocchet talking about the playoff mentality this team has over the last 2 games. And also, you will hear from John Marks because he was live post-game. So we're going to play for you because he's not concerned either. And I just kind of want to tap into the psyche here today.
Because we're hockey guys.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, when you think about pucks and sticks on this station, you think about Middays with Marks. We've been on this team for months. We've been talking nothing but hockey. We kept getting the word, hey, you guys got to talk about something other than the Flyers. We're like, all right, fine. You know, we'll try and vary it up and talk about something that's not the Flyers. But looking at this right now, there was a little bit, when you talk about the bad luck and the bad luck of that goal, it's like the dark path of destiny right there where I'm like, I don't like the fact that you know, that's going to be the difference maker in a game that keeps them alive. You know, I know in my head, logic tells me you have a 3-0 series lead. It's like 4 and 1,000 when it comes to hockey, the number of times that someone's been able to overcome that type of series lead. It doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to happen. But the pressure, and I heard John Kincade say this morning, and I totally agree with him. The pressure has flipped here. The pressure is on the Flyers to win Game 6 now.
Oh, of course.
Because you do not want to go back to that barn out there on the western side of this state and be talking about a Game 7 between these two sides.
No, you're right. Yeah, nobody wants to see a Game 7, and I'm not willing to sit here and say that that's the end-all, be-all, too, either. Just wanted that for the record.
No. I mean, they could still win a Game 7. I'm not telling you that the series is over, they lose Game 6. But I don't think any of us,
no.
If you're looking for Freak Out Radio, that's not today. That might be Thursday, though.
Freak out. La chic. Yeah, I'm not there yet. Like I said, Game 6. And it'll be in the barn tomorrow night on my birthday. Hello.
Oh,
all right.
Happy early birthday.
I need a birthday present, Flyers. Let's advance. I want to strap this Lord Vladar mask back on and you know, not have to force it.
I feel like you're not forcing that today.
Yeah, because there's conversation right now, and Vladar isn't as sharp as he once was. But I think more so than anything, the Pittsburgh Penguins are attacking. Here's the big question I would have for you is, Game 4, they were the better team on the ice.
Yeah.
First 3 games, the Flyers were the better team. Who was the better team in your mind, putting the final score to the side last night?
I would still lean towards the Penguins.
Very, very.
Slight lean on that one.
Yes.
I got to give credit where credit's due. And I think the one thing the Penguins have done a lot better is they're creating a lot more traffic right now for this Flyers team. Like defensively, they're blocking shots. I think they're doing a really good job of keeping the Flyers from getting pucks on the net. Now, that also could go back to Flyers offensively. What are you doing? What do you have for me? But I think that's been a big change over the last 2 games where I think they've just been better. I thought going back and those first 3 games, especially the 2 games in Pittsburgh, like the amount of Flyers players just in the way of anything the Penguins were trying to do offensively. The Penguins even trying to get anything into the zone and make something happen. The Flyers did a really good job of controlling the traffic there. I think that shifted over the last 2 games, which is why I give the lean to the Penguins last night. I would give them that lean. Plus, they win the game. I have about 1,000 Penguins fans, it feels like, in my mentions right now because I had the nerve to tweet about the officiating in the second period where I forget whose helmet got knocked off, and I was like, given what I know about hockey, that appears to be a penalty. And I've been told about 1,000 different ways to log off the app and delete my account and all those different things. You would have thought I told them to take the fries off the Primanti Bros sandwich. They are mad with me right now. They are livid with me right now.
I heard the best thing about that sandwich is the bread. And I'm a big roll guy.
I've had it before.
All right.
Not bad.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll just say this, I'm not going to cry about the officials. I just want consistency. Consistency is key in life. That's all I want. So if you're going to penalize Risto for slapping Crosby in front of the goal, how are you not penalizing the guy last night when he punched, forgive me, I think it was TK went in there originally, but then somebody else.
Was it Sanheim?
Yeah, I think it might have been Sanheim, and literally got walloped, uppercutted right in front of the official. And it's like, yo, ref, that's come on, man. You gotta be fair about this. Call it even. Get it? The game is being played in their barn. You're gonna get away with those
That's
calls
fine.
from time to time.
Next one's here.
Next one's here.
Yeah,
so those whistles better be a little bit silent in favor of the orange and black. And, of course, over to the puke yellow, I need a little bit more as far as calls on their side.
Speaking of calls, 610-632-0975. Call, text, voice memo. Have you begun to worry about the series? The 2 of us are not there yet. Freak Out Radio comes Thursday. You won't be here on Thursday.
Not worried.
You're not worried.
I'll be in the middle of my round in Myrtle Beach, and
Yeah.
I sure as hell won't be worried on Thursday either.
Well, that's great. I'll be sitting right there, and had they lost Game 6, I will be worried. I'm not yet there, but I'm curious for you at 610-632-0975 because I know our guy, Negative Nate, right now is certainly concerned over what's happening back there. I'm curious if the Flyers fans have gotten to that at 610-632-0975. What's the level of concern out of last night for you? Have you begun to worry about the Penguins pulling off the near impossibility? We're not there yet.
Get these phones going.
I want to hear also from Rick Tocchet after the game. We'll play that for you coming up. And John Marks after the game saying, don't worry.
Be happy.
Calling us weak, actually, if you're worried.
Ooh, that's a little strong.
I believe wimpy was the word he was throwing around last night. We'll play it for you coming up.
That's a little strong.
Plus, later on in the hour, getting into the Phillies. No changes. One change. Any change? Something? We'll talk about it. We'll break it down. He's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunn. This is Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Flyers lose another one. I'm Patricia Caputo with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Flyers took a 3-2 loss to the Penguins Monday night. The Flyers still lead the series 3-2. Owen Tippett spoke on the pressure that comes after losing 2 straight after the game.
No, like I said, we knew we weren't going to win every game, and we still have the 3-2 lead in the series. So obviously back in Philly, take it one game at a time and then go from there.
Calm and collected. They'll have the day off today, but we'll see if they can secure a series win in Game 6 Wednesday night. The Sixers will try to avoid playoff elimination tonight against the Celtics. Celtics currently have a 3-1 lead. Joel Embiid is listed as probable. You can listen to the game starting at 7 p.m. live right here on The Fanatic. And the Phillies are back home. They will look to get back on track against the San Francisco Giants. Everyone's job remains intact as of right now, despite the Phillies' struggles. Jose Luzardo expected on the mound for the Phillies. That game begins at 6:40 p.m. against the Giants. The Union have off until Saturday, while they will take on Nashville SC. This update is brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. I'm Patricia Caputo. I'm the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic app.
Sean?
I need it, man. I'm sensing the vibes a little bit. Now, it's not to sit here and say that there are people that are starting to second guess, but, like from the timeline, a couple people just hit me up during the commercial break at Sean_Brace at 975 Middays. What is yours? You got 3 handles.
Ray Dunn 975.
There you
No,
go.
it's the handle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't go find the private Instagram. That's a public Instagram for a reason. Some things have to stay close to the vest.
Here's all I'll say. As I said many, many times, I pay attention to the odds, folks, and your team, your town, your Philadelphia Flyers are favored on Wednesday night at home.
Yeah.
Game 6.
So there's a way to look at this, which is, again, not necessarily the viewpoint that I have currently. But I could see if I was on the western side of the state having this thought process. First 2 games, absolutely. Flyers dominate. Remember game 3, until the Flyers got that power play and the melee and the boys having just a gathering, standing room only in the penalty box, Penguins had the juice. The Penguins were up in that one. The penalty changed the whole thing. The crybabies after the game had their way about officiating, but we're also talking about officiating right now, so I have to be fair there.
15-minute mark in the second period. They had the advantage through 1 and 25 minutes of action.
Right.
Okay.
That penalty happens.
Yep. You're right.
I'm pro that penalty, obviously, due to my zip code and, my area code on my phone.
Oh,
I got a 484 number, I'm not giving out anymore.
It was a penalty.
Yeah, it was. But what I'm telling you, if I was from the western side of the state, I'd say, well, the start of game 3, now what I saw in game 4, they win game 5. I'd be chesty right now if I was in Pittsburgh. I would.
Ooh, I don't know if I'm chesty if I'm a Penguins fan, but I feel like, okay, I feel like I have a pulse again. Definitely not chesty. That was a winnable game last night.
It was a winnable game for the Flyers, absolutely, but you win 2 in a row. And
you're still down, though.
Yeah.
You're still down 3-2.
I saw some people comparing the 23 NLCS to this Flyers team. That hurt me deeply because that wound has still not healed for me, the 23 NLCS.
We don't need that.
But I'm just telling you. You mentioned your timeline. I'm just telling you the timeline that I'm looking at.
Let me pitch you one thing that's in our favor. Young legs.
Young legs.
Fresh. Right? You look at what they have. Old Hags. Sidney Crosby. Malkin.
By the way, good to get them on Wednesday night. Don't give them the extra day off.
Correct.
Don't let those old legs rest.
That is a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
I love playoffs. I think we all do, don't get me wrong, but like NBA and the NHL, when you get the 7-game series, Major League Baseball, I get it, that's fine. But you're talking about 2 different sports with hockey and basketball. Could you imagine what that's like? Like just proper, think about Konechny and Crosby and what took place at the end of the last night's game where TK runs over. I love him, dude. I love him. That's my guy.
How could you not?
That's my guy right there, Travis Konechny. And he runs over and he gives it to Crosby at the end of the game. And I get it. Yeah, we lost. You'd rather win the game and all that nonsense goes out.
True.
But no matter who wins this game, there's always going to be a melee on the ice at the end of it, right? So he runs over and gives it to Crosby in the back. And it's like, could you imagine what that's like now? Got to come across, pack everything up. Yeah, you're all smiles and ready to go. But then you get back out on the ice and you're like, this guy again. It's like imagine going to a bar and the neighborhood bully is always there. Well, that's what we're doing.
I see Connor all the time at Garage. What are you talking about?
Nice work.
I mean, so I want to hear from people at 610-632-0975 because as much as we're lining up, and I mentioned in the way I view if I was from the western side of the state, I'm not worried. They still got to come here. Again, just a day between games. Feel good about Wednesday night. I was on PHL 17 this morning, and they asked me confidence level. I'm still feeling good. I thought they played a good game last night. They didn't get the victory. I feel good about it. Now, if you don't feel good right now, and if you feel like there's a chance in which they lose this series, don't take it from the two of us not to be worried. Go to a whole nother level with post-game last night. Johnny Marks on with Bill Colarulo. They're doing a tremendous job. Catch them as soon as the game ends. They're on YouTube. Then they come live over the air. He wants you to know, if you're a host, so us, if you're a fan that's concerned, I believe he used the phrase wimp, but we'll play it for you. This is John Marks last night on the post-game here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's okay to be pissed tonight and, we're going to blow the lead. We're going to blow the series or whatever. You know what? If you want to do that tonight, do that tonight. All right? Get it out of your friggin' system. We're not doing that. We're not doing that tomorrow. We're not doing that on Wednesday. We're not losing this series. You know what? When the Penguins lose and I listen to Pittsburgh radio, do you know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for wimpy hosts and wimpy callers that are like, oh, my God, we're going to lose. We're not doing that. Don't do that. The Flyers are going to win this series, Bill. They're going to win it in 6. They're going to win it on our home ice, and Pittsburgh's going to lose. And we're going to be yelling at Sidney Crosby when he's limping off the ice on his skates, all right? Don't do it. Don't give them any confidence. Don't get these yinzers to be feeling good about themselves because Flyers fans are acting scared. Don't do it, all right? And I'm putting it on you. You got to make sure you take care of the afternoon, all right? Don't be letting people be scared about this.
We didn't get the directive, but I'm glad he gave the directive for Bill in the afternoon.
I dig it. Yes, I dig it. He's right. Like, the Flyers are not losing this series.
Flyers in 6, the way it was written.
It was always Flyers in 6.
Now, I got a text last night. What time was this? This was 8:42.
Negative Nate.
I think it's going to be Pens in 7.
Yeah, that's negative Nate.
That's negative Nate.
That's on brand.
He's flipped, but when you talk about pucks and sticks on this program, I mean, he is the official puckman of this group.
Yeah, what was he saying when the Flyers were up 3-0? What was he saying when the Flyers were up 2-0?
I don't think he wanted to touch the broom.
Oh.
This also comes back to the bad juju that might have been put out there by Mike Vito, Bill Colarulo, Ricky Bowe, and to a lesser extent myself. I will call myself out. And I've gotten some texts. We'll get into it later on the show. I do want to be down there tomorrow night. I'm willing to hear suggestions about me staying home.
I'm giving all my money back that I've won so far with this series. It's like, come on now, finish the job.
Finishing the job.
Yeah, I agree. And it comes down to Wednesday night, a game that's being played. And I hate to be that guy, but like you brought up the penalty when Zegras hit the goal.
Yeah.
And there was a party in the penalty box. Well, that was a penalty that was called in our building. Right? And rightfully so. But
you need that, though. You need, like, that spark.
It's how it plays out.
I thought Bump gave him to that last night.
Bump did give him that spark. Yeah.
And honestly, is it kind of just now more on, hey, you know, the Zegras, the Tippett's of the world, like Tippett turnover last night. Like, we need the guys on this team to be the guys on Wednesday night and just take this team where they need to go.
No. It comes down to one guy only.
You grabbing the mask?
Lord Vladar. That's it. This guy has to be the best goalie in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Like, this guy has to live up to the hype that or the praise that we were giving him, not the hype, because he's been delivering and then some. Vladar is better than what he has shown these last 2 games. He knows it. We know it. Everybody knows it. Is that unfair? No, it's playoff hockey. You got to find a way to win a game. And I'm not going to sit here and put unrealistic expectations on Porter Martone to go and give us 2 goals. I'm not going to sit here and say a guy like Zegras needs to go out there and give us a hat trick. That's not how the Flyers are winning. They did outscore them. Don't get me wrong. A few of those games did get a little lopsided. I think it was 11-4 going into Game 4 Game 4 when we were
the
live.
Broadcast live.
But right here, right now, for me, for my money, it's all about the goaltending. And if Vladar can live up to what the hype that we were putting on his shoulders through 3 games, yeah, this team will win on Wednesday night.
Rick Tocchet last night after the game talking about the mentality that this team kind of where they're at. Not even mentality, but how much the playoffs are a mental thing. And I thought it was really interesting to hear the way he's talking about his team. I thought after Game 4, it seemed like it wasn't just directed at Michkov, but we saw what ended up happening. Michkov not playing last night. I think there's certainly when he says something, you want to listen because he is not going to beat around the bush when it comes to what he thinks about the way his team played. Here's Tocchet after the game last night.
Well, playoffs is a mental thing. Things change, right, from game to game. But what shouldn't change is your focus on line changes. Like, you have to be really good on that stuff. You have to understand, knowing where the pressures come from. There has to be a hard play or a good wall battle to get it out. It's a good play. So I think we're just a little bit behind the 8 ball when it comes to that. Tight games, though, can go either way, obviously. But we just got to, some guys got to loosen up a little bit, maybe shorter shifts, hold on to some. That's why I thought Bumper and Barks, like, they're holding on to pucks. I mean, that's why they're making some plays out there. So we got to get some other guys to hold on to pucks and win some battles in the corners. That's really what it comes down to. That's playoff hockey.
Some guys got to loosen up. This is a young team. Yes. They haven't had to close anybody out. Are we kind of at that point where we're seeing a little bit of the youth, a little bit of the inexperience?
Yeah, of course. right? Like, nobody said it was going to be easy.
No. It did feel like it was going to be easy there for a second.
Okay.
I was a little chesty on Saturday. I'll admit it.
Rightfully so. You're 3 games to none with a game at home, a closeout game at home. Yeah. Saturday night, the vibes were high. You should be a little chesty. You should be believing that this team is going to finish business. It didn't play out that way. So now here they are with a golden opportunity. Game 6 in the barn. I'm getting heat from Dutz back behind the scenes, and he's like, did you just say that Vladar is the best goalie in the Stanley Cup playoffs? No, I did not. I'm not the X's and O's hockey aficionado that you need to listen to when it comes to goalkeeping. You know who is? A guy by the name of Henrik Lundqvist, who said Dan Vladar is playing the best goalie in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Like, don't take my word for it.
I took your word for it, Sean Brace.
Listen to that guy.
When I think of goaltending analysis in the NHL, I think of Sean Brace.
Well, I could
where I come to first.
Spit a little bit with the best of them, but at the end of the day, I follow leads when it comes to the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. And Vladar was that guy. Like, you know, look, if you don't want to sit here and say that there's another goalie out there that's better than him, that's fine. But there's no doubt he's one of the 2 or 3 best goalies standing. He was absolutely electric. And let's not forget, the Flyers have been playing playoff hockey now for 2 months. This isn't something that just started last week against the Penguins. He stood up and delivered time and time again.
And I will say the difference.
One more.
When you talk about the last month, I think the difference from Game 4 to Game 5 for me was the fact that Game 4, I think the Flyers came in there hearing a little bit about how good they were. And it kind of felt like, oh, this is just going to happen. Mm-hmm. And then it didn't. Game 5, I felt like the energy was there. I thought they got closer to where we saw the first 3 games of the series. They looked better. They didn't come out with like, this is going to happen for us. It came out more of a, we're going to go make this happen for us type of mentality, at least approach to the game.
It felt a little different energy, definitely a different vibe, a little bit more, flow to the game from the Flyers in the first 3 games versus that Game 4 yesterday. Yesterday was just a tough game at Pittsburgh, right? The odds were against them. Pittsburgh needed to win that game, and you got to give them the credit, man. They did. They extended the series.
We'll get to some texts, some voice memos on the Davis Honda text line, 610-632-0975. But first, let's go to the phones. Let's go out to Allentown, talk with Mike. Mike, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Good morning, guys. How are we?
Good. How are you?
What's up, Mike?
Good. Yeah, I'm not too worried. They got a lucky goal at the end there. Vladar, I thought, played pretty well. One thing for the future, or maybe not these coming games, I think we need an enforcer. I think our little guys, our stars, are getting run at. They're getting hit. They're getting punched. Back in the 80s, 90s, Flyers hockey, they wouldn't have that. Do you guys think we need an enforcer or someone to take care of this nonsense?
If it's the regular season, I can get down with it, but it's playoffs, right? And it's just like, that stuff, I get it. I'm with you. Like, you want to see them stand up to being bullied, to being pushed around. But all in all, you can't get caught up with that stuff in playoff hockey, for my money.
Also, I don't really want to see that team on the power play, given how good it was throughout the entire season for the Penguins. Like, I get what you're saying about the enforcer, and I get what you're saying about being a little bit tougher. I think it just comes down to being as tough as you were early on in this series. I thought that came back a bit last night. I thought that was what was missing in Game 4, to be honest with you.
Yeah, good point. And I think I don't know where Drysdale's been either. He's kind of been missing the last couple games.
I mean, I think you could go kind of down the line here. Some of the top guys on this roster of the last couple of games. Of like, all right, where are you at?
These have been physical games, too.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if people are getting a little nicked up over, the 5 games.
Yeah, but if youth is what we're saying is their advantage,
but
those old guys got to be feeling it, too.
There's difference between being, nicked up and getting hurt versus you having the youthful exuberance that you have, the fresh legs.
Right. Well, I'm telling you, recover a little bit better.
You're right.
Know?
You're right.
You and me go out Manayunk on a Saturday night. I might be able to bounce back a little bit better on Sunday.
Bounce back, nothing for me these days.
There's no bounce back?
The only thing I'm doing is just living with regret on the couch these days. The hangovers hurt so much. And for the parents out there that are listening to me, there's nothing more worse than a hangover and then having to deal with 2 kids the next day. I'm telling you, it will change your approach. It will change your mind on a lot of things. That screaming at 10 o'clock in the morning when you're under the weather, when you're hurting from the night before, it just hits a different way, man. I'm telling you. Living with regret these days.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm years from that. So,
yes, good. Take your time. Risto is Am I wrong on this? I thought he was a pretty big dude.
Yeah. No, I would say you're right about that.
Can we look to him for an enforcer? I won't lie. I think the Penguins were a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more, face wash.
Yeah.
Pulling the hair, which was great. You like to see that. Jim Jackson said scumbagish on the broadcast. I was taken back by that. Whoa. Really? That's the language you're using. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for that.
No, yeah, that word is now in. That is now how we're describing all hockey.
I hate that word.
Why?
Because Portnoy put it out there as a loser. It's talking about us in Philadelphia. And he says it's a term of I say it as a term of endearment. No, I don't want to be known as a scumbag. I'm not a scumbag. All right? So, and now you get, obviously, the Barstool Way with Biz on TNT.
Yeah.
And he says it because Portnoy said it. And now all of a sudden, you know what really grinds my gears is when Philadelphia fans are out there parroting. And I was giving Kendall from the Flyers all the love and praise the other day, right?
Right.
She's the one that puts the tweet out there and says, ready for some scumbag hockey. No, we're not scumbags. That's not what we do. Are we pesky? Are we after you?
So we just use a different word.
Yes, but we're not scumbags. Scumbags cannot be a term of endearment. I don't take that as a term of endearment. You call me a scumbag, I'm going to look at you, and I'm probably going to come at you.
My I'm not a scumbag shirt is raising questions as to whether or
You
not
have
I'm
a scumbag?
No.
There it is. And I heard Jim Jackson say that, and I'm like, good, JJ, nice. Thank you.
Never in my life did I think we were going to be debating the merits of the word scum.
Well, Portnoy throws it out there, and then everybody wants to run with it because everybody loves him. Not here.
All right, we're going to continue with the Flyers conversation, but I do want to switch gears a little bit here. We're going to talk to Tim Kelly coming up at 11 o'clock, and we're going to talk to him, Tim Kelly, of course, of On Patterson, covers the Phillies, about where we're at right now. Is it going to happen? And by it, I mean anything for this Phillies team. I still believe change is coming. I don't know what it is. I still believe today we're going to get some sort of change. If you just look at the history of the last time they fired someone in season, Girardi got the pink slip on the day of a game after an off day. It feels like they take the day to assess, and then you come in, and that's when things are really decided for you. Is it going to be Rob Thompson? Is it going to be Kevin Long? Where are you right now, Sean Brace, in terms of what you think is going to happen with this Phillies team ahead of the homestand that begins tonight?
Kevin Long gone. That was always the one. Thompson's not going. You're not firing the manager right now. As bad as it is, 9-19. And it hit me a little bit yesterday as we were talking. And this is the tough part. If you are John Middleton, if you are Dombrowski, this is the tough part because it is April 28th. To fire the manager, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I would be against it, but I could sit back and say we got a long way to go. Is it out of the realm of possibility that the baseball gods all of a sudden shine down on the Phillies, the bats start going, the pitching, picks up a little bit? Because that's the biggest, issue for me right now is the starting pitching.
Right.
Not even the bats, as bleak and as disastrous a start that they have shown. Is it out of the realm of possibility that the Phillies could go on a run here, win 2 series, maybe win 4 or 5 straight? No, it's not. We're not even at Memorial Day.
We're not even in May, man.
Yes. So I could sit here and say, not the manager at this point in time. But guess what? We're not hitting. Why is the pitching coach? We had a caller call up yesterday talking about, well, I want to see what he could do if he gets the opportunity. The pitching is a huge weakness right now. And you went out and spent all the money on Sanchez when you didn't have to give him that contract extension. Well, yeah, think about how bad that is looking right now. Not going to get too crazy.
Yeah, I was going to say, Sanchez isn't the one I would start
but he hasn't been good.
Start firing. Of the staff, he's been the bright spot. It's been a very, dull start.
Expectations right here, and I'm doing the radio thing, doesn't work.
Expectations high.
He's been way low. He had a career year yet last year.
Yeah.
There's no reason to give him that contract, and they did.
It was a thank you.
All right, good. Nice work. We'll see how it plays out. Right now, not looking so good.
A very odd contract to give.
Luzardo, obviously, we know what his struggles have been. Oh, by the way, did you see what Ranger Suarez did with the Boston Red Sox?
I did. Another 8 scoreless.
I believe 10 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I believe 2 of the last 3 starts, 8 scoreless.
Again, I just bring it up because why is the pitching coach all of a sudden off the hook here?
I've seen them develop actual pitching talent over the last couple of years. I can't say I've seen someone come to Philadelphia and become a better hitter over the last couple of years.
That's fair.
I've seen stretches of it. There was a stretch where Bohm was a starting third baseman in the All-Star game. There's a stretch where there's been multiple stretches where I've been told, no, Bryson Stott's different. I don't think I've seen that growth into the next level. They paid for a lot of, hitters that have kind of been what they are. Maybe, all right, that's probably unfair to Kyle Schwarber. So Kevin Long gets credit for Kyle Schwarber. I'll give him credit for that. I mean, think about when he got here, though. Think about the fact he got a lesser contract than Nick Castellanos showed you how he was valued around baseball.
You're right.
So, all right, that's a pretty big check on his side. Aside from that, it's tough for me to say that I would give more leeway to Caleb Cotham than I would for Kevin Long. But I'm curious, do you believe it's happening today? I want to hear from people at 610-632-0975. Have we accepted that no change is happening? Because I'm not there yet. I don't know if it's us being on the air. I don't know if it's necessarily just the history of remembering that Girardi timeline and getting past. I remember getting past that day off and being like, well, hey, Joe Girardi survived to see another day of baseball for the Phillies. Turns out that next day of baseball, he was fired.
Which was June 2nd or 3rd.
Like June 2nd, yeah. It was all right. He got past the off day. I guess they're going to give him the opportunity. And then it happened. Because of that, I still have, the Spidey senses are still going off today for me.
Phillies are minus 171, one favorites.
They have
tonight.
been favorites in so many games this season. For a team that's 10 games under 500, I understand the pedigree. I understand we're all disappointed because of what the expectations are for them, and Vegas is still setting those odds at expectation.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. Has there ever been a worse record for a team that's been favored as many times as they have? I don't know. Call someone in Vegas and get that information for me.
I like it. Well, look, you look at the Braves. They were underdogs in all 3 of those. The previous games, the 4 against the against the Cubs, they were favored in 2 out of the 4. And then against the Atlanta Braves at the home series, they were favored in all 3. And ended up getting swept.
They're not great.
Well, I think there's definitely a new dance being done at sports books around the country right now when it comes to regards with the Phillies. However, Luzardo on the mound, Giants at 13-15, not the best bats either for the San Francisco Giants. This is a game. This is another spot where you're looking at Luzardo to rise up, and the expectations are that he will do that tonight.
I hope that's the expectation. Well, expectation from the books. Well, do we expect Rob Thompson to be the one handing over the lineup card?
I do.
All right.
I do. I think Kevin Long will be moved. If something has to change, right?
I think something gets done today.
And, by the way, Salisbury said as much.
And that's what we're going to get to coming up. Jim Salisbury yesterday, the Philly show comes out, tremendous podcast, expects change. We'll play that for you. And also, we talked to Bob Nightingale yesterday. Is there a name, potentially, of someone that would come in? Could they entertain that in season? I don't think so, but it's out there. We'll talk about it. Alongside Sean Brace, I'm Ray Dunn. This is Middays Marks, the 97.5 The Fanatic.
Howie Roseman and the Eagles had a
Welcome back. Middays with Marks here on 97.5 The Fanatic. No Johnny Marks today. Be back tomorrow alongside Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunn.
I got Trish on the other side of the glass. Trish, you got a itchy trigger finger.
You
Yeah,
like it.
You gotta
to
let
last
that.
a
You
little
gotta let
longer.
that vibe
I can
go.
bring it back up.
There you go. That's that Tribe Called Quest. That's that vibe. right there.
No. Sorry, put that back down. Give me the breaking news sounder. Give me the
Oh.
breaking news sounder.
Now, breaking sports news from 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
According to Matt Gelb, the Phillies have fired manager Rob Thompson. Sources told The Athletic Don Mattingly will be interim manager. It's happened. Rob Thompson out as Phillies manager, according to Matt Gelb. Don Mattingly will be the interim manager. So, basically, this entire offseason of, hey, Don Mattingly's here. If things don't go well, they could fire Rob Thompson and make him the manager, has happened. One, immediately, very awkward, the dynamic of the general manager being the son of the interim manager. Interesting to see the way that plays itself out in the long term. In the short term, wow. I mean, Thompson, I get it. He wasn't for everybody. I think the demeanor started to drive people crazy. At some point, you just started playing Rob Thompson clips for people because they'd start to lose their mind, listening to him talk about, hey, it's a long season. There's a lot here. We're going to be able to figure this out. Ultimately, they needed some sort of a spark here at this point in the season. I thought it might be Kevin Long. I thought it'd be early to go to the manager on this one, but they go to the manager, and it kind of feels like it's the logical choice if you think about what Cotham brings to that pitching staff. I don't think he was ever in danger. For Kevin Long, I think it's the way the guys value him as the hitting coach.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll see if there's anything more that comes out about this. But Rob Thompson fired, according to Matt Gelb. You can get in with us at 610-632-0975. It was a great run for him, the run of a lifetime for him to be the interim manager, get them to the World Series in 2022. I thought he got outdone in the NLDS last season against the Dodgers. I thought Dave Roberts had really tactically outdone him in that series.
Yep.
When they didn't move on from him there, I did not think that we'd be talking about him being out before the end of April, but you kind of assumed if they didn't move any further this year that he was going to be gone. And, this is the move you make at this point because you need to spark something. I'm not necessarily sitting here telling you it's a mistake. Somebody had to go today. Somebody had to go over these 48 hours just because that's the nature of it. Rob Thompson's the guy to go because it starts with him getting the job because someone needed to go, and it ends with him going because ultimately someone needed to lose their job over the start of the season. You need something. You're way out of it already. You're 10 games under 500. It's been as disappointing as you can imagine. Is it all on him? No. You look at the president of baseball operations, the club that he's put together, and you say that there's definitely a lot that they could be better at. The way the guys have played so far to start this season, it's on them. But this is the nature of the business for him.
It's been a very flat run, very flat start for the Phillies. 9-19, 28 games in. I did say that there was plenty of baseball. I would have made a change with Kevin Long, number one, but ultimately I would imagine that Middleton and company spoke to the players, spoke to necessary people inside the front office, and oh, by the way, you can judge it by the naked eye. So you get your backup from people that are in it, that deal with it, that consume it day to day behind the scenes, and they'll give you the vote of confidence that you're looking for because there was no reason to keep Rob Thompson just based off of the play on the field. This team is underperforming every which way. We were just joking about the contracts that you gave to Sanchez, Luzardo. You saw what Ranger Suarez did. Now, is that a Dombrowski thing versus Rob Thompson? Of course, I get it, but he is the manager. He is the guy that handles everything. And when you don't have an answer, and when you step to the podium time and time again, and you're lifeless, and the questions continue to be the same, yet the answers are no different, like that's where the issue is. And this team has failed to live up to the expectations. That bar was high. Back-to-back division champions, I get it, but that bar was high. The opportunity was there, and if they continue to lose, the Atlanta Braves are going to run away with this thing and hide. So now there was an opportunity at 9-19, plenty of baseball to go. You got their attention. You just fired their manager.
You got their attention, and a manager that, I mean, by all accounts, they respected, they enjoyed having around, but at some point...
Very comfortable, Ray.
Yeah, it became too comfortable.
I think that's the state of Philadelphia sports in general. I know we're going to stay on the Phillies, but a lot of players, a lot of teams are very comfortable. Got to start going through some uncomfortable moments here. I think the Eagles did when they lost to the 49ers. back to the Phillies here, 9-19. I've been very uncomfortable watching them go out there and play. Last weekend there was no excuse to get swept by the Atlanta Braves at home, and then to go down there and lose 2 or 3, and they got really lucky to get that one on Saturday as well.
Now, very important, the press release just came out for this, and I want to read you the wording here because we were going to bring up Alex Cora in this segment. And that's been like kind of the name out there of like, well, the Red Sox got rid of him. And yesterday, Nightingale was waxing poetic about the love affair between Dave Dombrowski and Alex Cora and all. It was so great in Boston when the two of them were together. Mm-hmm. Don Mattingly has been named interim manager through the end of the 2026 season. So the way I imagine this ends up playing out, if we could look into the crystal ball here, I don't necessarily believe they're going to be able to just spin this around because they've gotten rid of Rob Thompson. The names are what the names are. The hole that you've dug yourself at this point is the hole that you've dug yourself. It's very early. I don't necessarily believe that you're going to turn this into some sort of magical run. I don't know if lightning can strike twice in a matter of 5 years when it comes to an interim manager. If it does, be happy to play this audio for me when we're on Broad Street. Or, heck, play it for me the first week of October and say, Ray, look at that. We're going to watch a playoff game with the Phillies in it. The interesting part about this, though, if they are not able to turn this around and they get to the end of the 2026 season, the obvious thing here is going to be Alex Cora becomes the manager because Dombrowski has the relationship with him. And again, Nightingale yesterday saying no one's job in the organization. Forget it. Hot dog vendor all the way up. Nobody's job in the organization is safer than Dave Dombrowski's right now. And likely that would lead to Cora being the manager probably after 2026.
Yeah, I want to put the brakes on, and I understand why you're bringing it up. I get it, but I want to put the brakes on that conversation because as far as I'm concerned, Dombrowski, hold up. I don't know if he needs to be making any decisions after this year.
But
we got a long way to go.
We do. We have a long way to go.
A lot can change, too, over these next months. Is John Middleton, does he come across as a guy that's even keel? Or does he come across as a guy that, look, if it's not going right, we got heads rolling. Something needs to change. So we got a long way to go until we get in that conversation. I understand it. The connection is there. I get it. Hold up. What if Mattingly turns this team around like Rob Thompson did when we took over for Girardi?
He could.
Okay, then what are we talking about? So before Cora gets the next, job here as far as the manager for the Phillies, I want to see what this team looks like with Mattingly out there as the manager. Are you excited, though?
I don't think this solves much, to be honest with you.
See, I am excited.
I mean, they need to do something. So that at least scratches that itch of like something had to happen here, like that they needed something to happen. It's just hard for me to believe
it's been bad.
Mattingly is going to make them uncomfortable enough to where this matters. Like,
I know what was uncomfortable, that team meeting. Guys, Rob Thompson is no longer your manager. Don Mattingly will come in, and then I would assume that there will be some sort of players-only conversation taking place behind the scenes. Yeah, we need these guys to be a little bit uncomfortable. I told you on Sunday, I texted the group, I go, guys, I can't do it.
Right.
I just can't sit here and watch this team. They're down 6-0. I got other things to do.
Yeah.
And I would imagine there were a lot of people, a lot of Phillies fans that were probably saying the same thing on Sunday afternoon.
I just don't know what Don Mattingly does to make 4 through 8 in the lineup, 4 through 9 in the lineup better. That's just like, it comes down to the players on the field. And we'll get into this. If you want to jump in, Rob Thompson fired out as manager for the Philadelphia Phillies at 9-19. They're making a switch. Don Mattingly will be the interim manager through the end of the 2026 season. You get in with it at 610-632-0975. We'll read the text, the voice memos on the Davis Honda text line. Get in with us about it. All right, let's go right there. Are you excited? Because I can't necessarily tell you this makes me, all types of encouraged that things are going to turn around. Someone had to go.
Yep.
It's the nature of the business. It's the nature of being a manager in Major League Baseball. And when Cora went, you felt like the floodgates could open for a Rob Thompson, for a Mendoza, for someone across baseball. Floodgates have opened. Is it going to make a difference for you? You can jump in 610-632-0975. We'll get to that coming up. We did have Tim Kelly of On Patterson scheduled for next segment.
Boom.
We will see if he is still free to do that.
That's true.
He might have some things to do. We want to get you in on the show. We'll get back with you in the 11 o'clock hour alongside Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunn. This is Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now, on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phillies are moving on. I'm Patricia Caputo with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies have fired manager Rob Thompson after the team lost 11 of their last 12 games. Don Mattingly will take over as interim head coach for the rest of the season. His work begins at 6:40 p.m. tonight as the Phillies will take on the Giants at Citizen Bank Park. The Flyers took a 3-2 loss to the Penguins Monday night. The Flyers lead the series 3-2 still. Dan Vladar spoke on what the team will learn after this loss.
You know, we're still a young team. We gotta learn that, and you know, we gotta bounce back, and you know, still try to play our game, not their game.
Flyers have the day off, but we'll see if they can secure a series win in Game 6 on Wednesday. The Sixers will try to avoid playoff elimination tonight against the Celtics. The Celtics currently have a 3-1 lead. Joel Embiid is listed as probable for the game. You can listen to Sixers Celtics starting at 7 p.m. live right here on The Fanatic. The Eagles picked up the fifth-year option for Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter Monday, and the Union have off until Saturday, where they will take on Nashville SC. This update is brought to you by Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa. A hotel might have a bar, a resort, and a spa, but if you want it all and more, it's Borgata. Visit theborgata.com to learn more. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. I am Patricia Caputo on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
And I think that might get his
A little bit. Get his attention just a bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, Robbie T, gone. Philly Rob, you no longer ride with. He's gone, which I never understood the Philly Rob, but I'm going to leave that alone today. We got plenty to get to with this. But Rob Thompson fired. Don Mattingly, interim manager until the end of the 2026 season. Kevin Long, sticking around. So that's the
very intriguing
summary of the news that we got today.
Yep.
And I had just texted, because I've been going back and forth trying to get Tim Kelly of On Patterson on the air for quite a bit now. We've been trying to, the schedules didn't match up for me. For
Busy
him,
man.
trying to get him on to talk about the Philadelphia Phillies. He was scheduled to join us right now, and he will join us right now. Tim Kelly of On Patterson does a tremendous job covering the Phillies. Tim, your instant reaction to the Rob Thompson news, fired as Phillies manager, and now Don Mattingly, the interim manager of this team.
I'm not surprised. If you had asked me at this time yesterday, I thought this is exactly how things were going to play out. I'm surprised that the Phillies sent out a notification last night saying Rob Thompson was going to talk as normal before the game today, and then this decision was made. I'm surprised they didn't just wait on that. That threw me for a loop a little bit. But ultimately, I think Rob Thompson, by and large, did a very good job as manager of the Phillies. He's a good guy. It's sad in many ways because he's one of the more successful managers that this team's ever had. At the same time, they're 9-19, and I think a lot of the problems are bigger than him, but also maybe he wasn't the right voice anymore. And I think there's a chance after last year things had maybe gotten stale, and that's the calculation the Phillies are making here. They're 9-19. They're not going to punt on the season with all they have invested in the team.
Just to follow up on that, now Thompson out. Kevin Long, another name that a lot of people are talking about. How would you best explain to this fan base why Kevin Long is still around and Rob Thompson no longer has a job?
The Phillies gave Kevin Long, according to Mac Gelb, a 3-year extension last offseason. So that's how I would explain. I would also say it's easier in a weird way to change managers during the season than to change hitting coaches, because the hitting coach not only sets the agenda for the major league team, he sets the agenda for the entire organization's belief in hitting. And as much as people are frustrated with Kevin Long, and a lot of it to me still comes down to you don't have good enough personnel, but he is really well respected. I believe if he wasn't the hitting coach here this year, he would have been the hitting coach elsewhere if he wanted to be. And that doesn't mean that maybe things haven't run their course and maybe they shouldn't have given him the extension, but they did, and he's here, and I'm not surprised. I think you had multiple managerial candidates on the major league staff, and that made it easier to move on from the manager than the hitting coach.
Tim Kelly joining us. Great job over at On Patterson. Tim, great to have you here as Rob Thompson has officially been removed as a manager for the Phillies. Take me on the inside here, because you're down there often at Citizens Bank Park. How does this play out inside the locker room? How does this play out inside the clubhouse? It's got to get a reaction, right? Like, this is the part where, okay, things are going to be awkward. Things are going to be uncomfortable. But will the players do something different? And I'm not asking as far as approach at the dish or, all of a sudden start ripping the cover off the baseball. But will this have a ripple effect? Will this send a shockwave in that clubhouse in your mind?
I think it will. Now, whether that makes, like, Tanner Banks pitch better in relief or, like, Joe Underon be healthy or go down the list, Aaron, I don't know whether it's going to have that effect. I would be skeptical that it will. But this is different than 4 years ago. Joe Girardi, I think, was not particularly loved by the guys. Rob Thompson is. And that doesn't mean that there doesn't come a time where you need to make a change, but this is not going to be like a celebrated move. Guys are, I think, going to be upset and feel like they let him down, and we'll see whether that translates to them being able to move forward here and turn the season around. But I definitely think that it will be a solemn day, even though, like, you have Don Mattingly coming in. He's managed multiple teams. He's a Hall of Fame-ish type player, even if he's not in the Hall of Fame. So that's cool. It's not like you're promoting some no-name to manager, but there's a lot of great memories from this team. They didn't ultimately get over the hump with Rob Thompson, but they got to a World Series in a season when they started 22-29. They were in an NLCS again. There was a lot of success with Rob Thompson after a decade of bleak baseball for the Phillies.
Now, to people that just know Donnie Baseball as Don Mattingly, the player, what do you think the Phillies are getting in interim manager Don Mattingly?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't want to say that I don't know him at all. I've talked to him when he was the manager of the Marlins and then a couple times here and there this season. But the bench coach, particularly when you're Don Manning, I think he's gone out of his way to lay low and not be like kind of looming over Rob Thompson this season. So I think what you're going to get is a guy that really does like teaching. And for as much as he could be like a huge ego guy, the interactions I've had with him is he's always down to earth and very friendly to everybody. So we'll see. As far as like what his stylistically, how different it's going to be than Rob Thompson, we'll see. They both learned under Joe Torre, and Don Manning was under Joe Torre in LA too, so he arguably has even more of a Joe Torre mindset than Rob Thompson did. But we'll see whether it's able to kind of spark this team. But it's a presence, like it stands out. It's Don Manning. This isn't your run. When Rob Thompson got promoted to interim manager, even though he'd been the bench coach, we didn't know that much about Rob Thompson.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Don Manning.
No doubt about that. After a disappointing 9-19 start to the season, 28 games in, the Phillies have now removed Rob Thompson. Amazing to see, and I can't believe we're in this position here on April 28th, but that's the reality we're in. Tim, how did they get to this decision? And I asked that knowing, as I just said with the record, right? It's real easy. Watching it with the naked eye, it's been a very lackluster start and just an empty hole when I sit down to watch the Phillies. A very unrewarding experience, to say the least. How did John Middleton get to this position? Is it something where he's bouncing it off Dombrowski? Is this a Dombrowski move only? Is he talking to people inside the organization? If you had to pinpoint that or pin that down, how do we get to this position here?
Well, Dombrowski's going to talk this afternoon at 2:45, I believe, but I would imagine what he'll say is similar to what he said 4 years ago, is that this was his decision. Obviously, John Middleton has to approve it, but he is fully in charge of the organization. So I would tend to think it's his decision. And I know last week he gave Rob the vote of confidence when they were in Chicago, but then the Phillies lost 6 more games before they were able to snap the losing, or 4 or 5, whatever it was. They had the longest losing streak the team has had in the 21st century. They come back, they win Saturday, but Sunday you kind of get a tough draw on Chris Sale, but Aaron Nola struggles and you're out of the game after like the second inning. It just felt like as much as they waited until June in 2022, which kind of feels crazy looking back, but they were in an even worse situation record-wise this year, and it just felt like this was a season headed for being a lost season, and it may still ultimately prove to be that. But when you have a $300 million plus payroll, you're not just going to punt on the season. As much as Rob Thompson, to me, deserves a lot of credit for this era, he could end up on the Wall of Fame at some point. It just got that was the move you could make during the season, and this is where we're at.
Well, we appreciate it, Tim, taking some time. I know you got plenty to go react on Patterson. Read all your stuff there. Philly Stoplight, all the wonderful stuff you're doing over there. Appreciate you taking the time to join us right as the Rob Thompson news comes down.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Tim.
Tim Kelly of On Patterson, and we're going to get your reaction now at 610-632-0975. What he says there is true. Ultimately, I believe in 15, maybe 10, 15 years, they got a lot in terms of 08 backlog to fill to get on the Wall of Fame. At some point, I believe there will be a plaque there for Rob Thompson. Just for the amount of success they had over the last couple of years. They didn't get over the hump with him. They did not win a World Series with him. But generally, I believe the organization valued him for what he was. That's why he kept getting the 1 year, even after the disappointment in 23, disappointment, 24, disappointment, obviously last season. They didn't get over the hump with him. At this point, now you're trying to save a season. I know you're excited because it's something new, it's something fresh, it's something to give this team. For me, there's not really that level of excitement because I don't put this on him. I understand why he's gone. You're not getting me today to say this is the gravest mistake they've ever made. They'll never find a manager with the tactics like this again. They'll never find a manager that could command that clubhouse like that again. Now, ultimately, what a baseball manager is in this sport, like the amount of wins you get because of what they do, I don't believe is so overwhelming that you have to go to bat here to say that this is a mistake. Don Mattingly, I don't think he was particularly great in Miami. Don't think he's particularly great with the Dodgers. Won games there in L.A. Obviously, we know what the Dodgers are, and they've only become more of that recently. I'm not telling you that it's doomed for him to take over this season, but it doesn't make me overly excited. There is one person in my life that's overly excited. My mom, who's a Yankees fan, and ordered the Mattingly, maybe going to get the Mattingly Phillies jersey for Mother's Day. She's thrilled right now with the news. But I would tell you, for me, the excitement of Mattingly being the manager is just like, hey, this is the business. This is what they signed up for. I'm curious if you said it excites you. I'm curious, people at 610-632-0975, if they're excited by this move.
Yeah, and it's tough because I want to be realistic I want to give the proper praise to Rob Thompson and what he was able to do. You brought up the Wall of Fame. Does Dombrowski also make the Wall of Fame? I don't know.
Probably will.
That's for another day.
You got to remember the history of this organization. As tough as it is right now where they're at, this is probably, the third most successful stretch in the organization's history? It's been around since 1883. It hasn't exactly been all glowing.
I know. I think I could have done, though. I think I could have signed a lot of those checks, too, as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what type of relationships end up playing into him getting the guys here.
Yeah.
Lazardo move, I mean, right now, this season's looking tough.
Long way to go.
Yeah.
I will sign off on Thompson to the Wall of Fame, though, and that's proper respect because at the end of the day, we don't appreciate the regular seasons enough in this city. And I don't know what your point
might
is.
This year when you see how bad the summer could be.
I don't know how we got all fat all of a sudden, but yeah, we don't enjoy the ride through 162 enough. Back-to-back division titles is not something that happens often, especially in this division with the teams that, between the Braves, the Mets, and so on and so forth. Ultimately, though, Rob Thompson deserves a ton of credit for what he was able to do over the years. But right now, you had World Series expectations. You've gotten worse every single year. Your ERA is over 5. Your pitching staff continues to get rocked. Your offense is lifeless, near bottom of Major League Baseball. All your core players are underperforming. Like, I'm saying everything that we know because we are diehards.
Right.
We watch this team night in, night out, and they have been underperforming. And a change needed to be made. And it's so drastic. It's so ugly, Ray, that this move tells me that Kevin Long would not have been good enough. Now, to Tim's point about the 3-year contract extension, absolutely.
That helps.
Yeah, that's going to help you.
Yeah.
Now,
Kevin, Rob, that was the thing. They kept just kind of hedging the bet, where it was like, yeah, we'll tack another year on
Give
there.
you one more.
Yeah, one more year. You're fine.
Wouldn't be surprised if Rob was on like a Milt Thompson role, too, as a ambassador for the franchise and next year and, down there in Clearwater. And, Rob would obviously.
Yeah, I think you give Rob maybe a year or two to just not be around.
Yeah.
You don't want to crowd the space. But,
No
yeah,
doubt.
at some point he'll
Something
be around.
along those lines. No surprise that the move was made, but it does excite me. It brings a little bit of new energy right now. A lot of baseball to be played, Ray. They have no choice. They have to turn this around.
Oh, I mean, they have no choice. They have to turn it around. Yeah. They have to, unless they don't. Like, there's that reality. The second week of the season, I remember we got to, I think it was the second series, and I said to John, I was like, I think it was the day, it was the day it wasn't the day you faked being out because of the start of March Madness. It was some day that you were out, and it was like, I turned to John, I'm like, I don't want to overreact. But like 2012 does kind of feel like where we're at right now. And like, they can turn it around to an extent. 2012, they finished 500. Right now, they're 10 games under. Like, they've dug themselves a tremendous hole right here. I'm just not sure that, like, you're bringing in an all-time manager here to save it. I understand why you make the move. I'm not against them making the move. I don't want it to come across as like they needed to keep Rob Thompson.
That's the best part about this. Everybody understands why they needed to make the move. And everybody understands because you can't fire the players.
No.
Like, if you could, who you firing first there? And you bring up 2012, and we have to ask because Jimmy Rollins spoke about that, and he said, when the wheels fell off, we all got old at the same time. Ray's making an O face.
Oh, a little more news.
Like more news. What do you got?
Our buddy that we had on yesterday, Bob Nightingale. This is 11:14, so 2 minutes ago this was tweeted out. Shout out Kevin Cooney for sending this one over. Alex Cora was offered the Philadelphia Phillies managerial job before Don Mattingly, but declined. He has decided to spend time with his family.
Whoa.
So this became...
Wow, there was reality behind that conversation.
Alex Cora was out there.
That's amazing.
They needed to make a change. They decided to make that change with Rob Thompson. Their first call was to Alex Cora, who said, man, no thanks. I'm good. Appreciate it. Love you, Dave. Me and you, we're boys. But
I think there was something else said.
Oh, I bet.
What's the number?
I got a lot of money. Yeah, I got a lot of money.
Let's compare and contrast.
Yeah.
What's the number you're throwing my way?
Am I going to... He could also look at it and say, oh, you're 9-19 right now, man. You think I'm turning that thing around? Oh, I suffer through losing baseball or just get paid to do nothing?
There's a number of things that are going through my mind, but you could pay me to take over a 9-19 professional franchise.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
But he's in a good spot.
Yeah.
The way he's viewed nationally, absolutely, he's in a good spot, and he'll be back being a manager in Major League Baseball next year if he wants to be. Apparently so, right? Like, if the Phillies are willing to give him the job on April 28th after you fire Thompson, because that's what happens. You fire Topper, and then you're like, all right, my first call is Cora. If he doesn't want it, then, of course, I'm going to go to Don Mattingly. Pretty easy to understand. But Bob Nightingale was not wrong, though, yesterday. Nope. I won't lie to you. As he was saying those sort of things to us, it's just like, man, I get it. The relationship is there. It's strong. I understand why he'd be floating this out there, but it just didn't feel like a realistic way of looking at it. But, man, he did offer him the gig. That's incredible.
And while we're going through news here, little Eagles nugget here. We're going to get back to Phillies in a second. Assistant General Manager Alec Hallaby, the one that looks exactly like Andrew Salciunas, stepping away for a new chapter.
How about that?
Yeah, there you go. A couple of departures from the Eagles front office.
A lot of change.
A lot of change in this city.
There's going to be even more change in this city after tonight, too, as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think so. But
I hope so.
Hey, by the way, that question that I asked, Nick Nurse outlast Rob Thompson? He did.
Oh, wow.
I was crazy when I asked him.
Congratulations to the Nick Nurse backers. You cashed your check.
I was just saying, that's how bad it got. Do you know how bad it got for Rob Thompson to be out of here? That's how bad it got.
Yes, I've been watching.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I think it sounded crazy a week ago because you assumed they were going to run into some wins.
He just didn't have any change in his tone. It felt very lifeless. And, man, like you got a lot of baseball to be played, but also if this is your approach, if this is what we're going to see day after day, that's going to take a big hit as far as people walking through those gates at Citizens Bank Park. You know, the days of it being packed up and sold out, if your team is continuing to be down 6-0 in the second inning and you're lifeless and your approach isn't changing.
I wasn't going to go tonight.
Oh, how about that?
I wasn't. To see the first night?
Are you going to?
Maybe I'll go.
Okay.
Maybe I'll go.
Beautiful day outside, right?
Yeah, it is a beautiful day. I got nothing going. I mean, you know me. What do I have to do? Just put together a show sheet for tomorrow's show. That's all I do.
Man on the street?
We'll see. We're going to go to the Davis Honda text line here. I want to get a voice memo in, and you can get your voice memos in 610-632-0975. Also, jump in on the phone line, 610-632-0975. Phillies fire Rob Thompson. How are you reacting to it? Are you excited about it? Because it hasn't really done much for me. I guess it's getting me down to the ballpark, but that's not really a hard thing for me to do. For you, it excites Sean Brace.
Yes, and Luke Arcady is going to join us at 11:30 too.
Okay, sounds good. What do we got on the Davis Honda text line?
Text line, not a memo.
Get me a memo.
Gotcha.
Yeah, memo.
Okay.
Rob's gone. It had to be done. Listen, man, he had a good run. I don't feel that it's all his fault, but something has to shake. And if this can be it, so be it. Let somebody step up and take charge, and maybe we can turn this thing around at least a little bit.
So I know that's kind of the feeling of it. Something had to happen. I guess I want to hear from someone that believes this is going to make a difference in the end. Like, believes this is like that ultimately going to take over for them. Like, the excitement, I guess, that you kind of give us, Sean, is fair. Because I think for people that were like, all right, I am so sick of how lifeless they look, maybe there's an exciting part to it looking different.
There's a reek of desperation from my...
Yeah, I mean, Dylan Moore playing center field reeked of desperation to me against Chris Sale.
Oh, by the way, Reyes, who I didn't even know who the hell he was.
Batting cleanup?
Cleanup.
Reeks of desperation.
A little bit.
Yeah. This whole thing reeks of desperation. Last week, we were talking about, I said, you really want your job to be decided by Chris Sale against this lineup? Ultimately, it was. If they took 2 or 3, he might still be the manager here. They didn't. They were lifeless on Sunday. Barely hit the baseball. Hitting coach is still here, though.
Yeah.
We'll continue to take your reaction. 610-632-0975. We got a lot of texts on the Davis Honda text line. And I think we might have to bump your buddy Luke because
oh, nice.
The guy whose name's on the show wants to check in. We'll get Johnny Mark's take
Beautiful.
on this whole situation coming up in the next segment. He'll join us alongside Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunn. This is Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports
The
Update.
Phillies are moving on. I am Patricia Caputo with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies have fired manager Rob Thompson after the team lost 11 of their last 12 games. Don Mattingly will take over as interim head coach for the rest of the season. His work will begin at 6:40 p.m. tonight as the Phillies will take on the Giants at Citizens Bank Park. The Flyers took a 3-2 loss to the Penguins Monday night. The Flyers still lead the series 3-2. Owen Tippett spoke after the game on the pressure that comes with losing 2 straight games.
No, like I said, we knew we weren't going to win every game, and we still have the 3-2 lead in the series. So obviously back in Philly, take it one game at a time and then go from there.
Calm and collected. The Flyers will have the day off, but we'll see if they can secure a series win in Game 6 on Wednesday. The Sixers will try to avoid playoff elimination tonight against the Celtics. Celtics currently have a 3-1 lead. Joel Embiid is listed as probable for the game. You can listen to Sixers Celtics starting at 7 p.m. live right here on The Fanatic. The Eagles picked up the 5th-year option for both Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter Monday, and the Union have off until Saturday, where they will take on Nashville SC. This update is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has led inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation.org. I am Patricia Caputo on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
Middays with Marks alongside Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunn. The man whose name is on the show is joining the show. Emergency phone call in. Rob Thompson has been fired. Don Mattingly, your interim manager, and John Marks joining the program to talk about his reaction to it. He can't get a day off. Poor Johnny got to jump on in. Joining us via Zoom, John Marks, your reaction to the news.
Rob Thompson out of here. Don Mattingly, the new Phillies manager. Can you believe it? Yeah, I was looking forward all morning, not going to lie. I was kind of refreshing the time on my phone. It's a move that needed to happen. You'd have to believe that if they didn't fire Rob Thompson, that the season would have turned around. I don't believe that would have been the case with Rob Thompson. Now, is the season going to turn around? Not necessarily, but at least this wakes the guys up. It gives a different voice in there. Don Mattingly, I have no idea what's going to happen from here. But, yeah, I would have fired Rob Thompson. I think it was the right move to make. And if you wait any longer and you give them another week to 10 days to try to work their way out of it, you could be 15 games under 500. So they've already dug themselves a big enough hole, and this was a move that needed to be made. I feel bad for Rob because Rob's done a really good job, and this is a Dave Dombrowski issue. This is a roster issue, but he's also not getting enough out of the team. So not surprised. Made a lot of sense, and this is the move you make, and now you go forward.
Yeah, John. What about the fact that they reached out to Alex Cora though and offered him the job, according to Bob Nightingale? Kind of hits me a little bit different. Like, I'm excited to a point. Like, it's a fresh new start, I guess, to a point. They've dug themselves a pretty deep hole here at 9-19. But now, like, to come to find out that Don Mattingly wasn't even the next guy up, and you offered the gig to Alex Cora, that kind of gives a different vibe to a point. What about you? Were you surprised to hear that Alex Cora was officially offered the job, according to Bob Nightingale?
Well, this is breaking news to me. I had not, while I saw he was fired, I did not know that. So I'm reading it right now that they offered him the job. No, it makes a lot of sense. He had a relationship with Dave Dombrowski. I'm not surprised that he turned it down because he's going to get paid this year, and then he can kind of reset, and he can decide where he goes from here. He could have the job at the next year. He could have the job after this season, depending on what happens with Don Mattingly. But does it make me feel any different? It doesn't, because you weren't. I know a lot of times in sports, it's about, all right, we wouldn't fire the coach, but this guy became available, so now we're going to move on from the coach. You had to move on from Rob Thompson. You had to try to do something to salvage the season. So it doesn't make me feel any different, no.
Does it? Are you now excited for Phillies baseball now that Rob Thompson's gone?
No. Am I excited to see this team play again tonight? No, I'm not excited
They're
for it.
favored. Minus 171, Luzardo on the mound.
Favored plenty, Sean Brace.
What could possibly go wrong tonight? I mean, it does give you not even a little bit more energy, but it does give you a different eye to, all right, let's see what they can do. The reality is that after they fired Joe Girardi, I heard a lot of people saying that, well, what's that going to do? What's firing the manager going to do? And we saw what it did. So, I mean, it's pretty elementary what they're trying to do here. They're hoping that Mattingly comes in and the guys start playing well. So, listen, we'll see. I'm going to wait and see. They're 10 games under 500. It's not even May yet. There's plenty of time to turn this season around. We've seen this team play their best baseball in the first half of the season before, and that got them squat once it came to the playoffs. So, maybe this is another one of these years where they struggle in the first half and they really turn it on in the second half and they're able to turn it around.
John Marks joining us on his day off. My man can't even get a day off like Ray said. Ray Dunn, Sean Brace, Middays with Marks. If you're just joining us, big breaking news. Rob Thompson out as the Phillies manager. John, Dave Dombrowski will speak to the media at 2:45. What do you want to hear?
That I don't want to hear they have a good club and they almost beat the Dodgers.
We
and
have a good club.
Else. Yeah, like I want to hear. It's funny. I remember before Dombrowski press conference, and Ray correctly predicted he was going to come on and he was going to say everything's great. There's nothing to see here. I guess I was hoping that there would be at least a little shred of responsibility for him not doing enough to get them over the top. So you know what I want to hear? Some accountability. I want to hear we thought this was the move that we had to make to try to turn the season around. But also acknowledging, I know the last time he spoke, he put his hand up and he said, this is on me. Okay, like this is on you, but you still have your job. So I want to hear some accountability. I want to hear I haven't done what I needed to do, and these guys need to turn it around. I don't need to hear how talented this team is. And that's one of the other things he said last time he spoke was he said, yeah, it's on me, but he said how talented the team is. I want to hear some responsibility. I want to hear some sadness that Rob was the one that had to lose his job mostly because of Dave's failures.
Now, you want to hear that. Do you expect to hear that?
To a point. I don't think Dave's going to be coming out and peacocking or anything like that. Like he's done a great job. But, I mean, does anybody really expect or really think that Dave doesn't think that he has done his job? He's not going to come out and brag about the job that he did. But, I mean, hell, at the end of last season, they lost to the Dodgers, and he was saying everything's great and he's content. Nothing else that needs to happen. So I don't.
Fine line.
I don't expect Dombrowski to come out and say this is all my fault and I'm sorry that Rob lost his job, but I also don't need him shifting blame on somebody else when everybody that's paying attention knows that primarily Dave Dombrowski is the person to blame.
Boy, that next Bryce Harper TikTok is going to hit. There's going to be a lot of views on that one.
We only find out if he becomes elite or he continues to be good.
Accountability, coffee, all that. Yeah.
Dave's really been on a run here, and it really is. What I wonder is that where John Middleton is on all of these things, right? Like, obviously, he had to sign off on Rob being fired, and to me, that's an easy decision because what's the other move that you can make? Firing Dave Dombrowski in season, what does that do, right? That doesn't change the dynamic of the team or in the clubhouse or anything like that. But despite what Bob Nightingale said yesterday on our show, I don't believe Dave Dombrowski is very comfortable and he's going to leave whenever he wants to leave and he's got carte blanche in the organization. This team doesn't turn it around this season. We're not going to have a Dave Dombrowski end the season press conference where he's talking about fine lines and they have a good club. We're going to be talking about who's getting hired to be the next GM.
Ooh.
Yep.
I don't know if I get there with you on that. It's not that I'm praising the job that he's done. I just think the relationship between Middleton and him is very, very strong. And I get that he's going to be upset with the way they're playing, but Thompson goes and it's like somebody had to go. I think he gives him one more chance to right the ship, even if this season doesn't go the right way.
But here's another thing with that is will Dombrowski want another season to right the ship? If they miss the playoffs this year, what reason do we have to believe that this is now an ascending team and they'll make a couple of moves and everything's going to be okay? It might actually be a good time for everybody, for him to now go back to Nashville or do whatever he's going to do and the Phillies to kind of move on. I don't know. There's a long time between now and then. Like I said, it's not even May. Hopefully they get the season turned around and we're not talking about this, but just something to keep an eye on that. I don't think Dave's safe. And if this team does not improve based on his moves, this is his team. He's the architect of the slop that we're watching right now. And now starting pitching's underachieved. Do I expect that to continue? I mean, not like this. They can't get any better. They can't get any worse than they've been this year. They can't. So they turn things around. We're not talking about this. But as far as I'm concerned, Dave's butt's on the line. Dave's his butt is on the line right now.
One last one for you, Johnny. How are you remembering the Rob Thompson tenure?
I mean, as being successful.
Yeah.
They didn't win a World Series. Not every run, you can't judge everybody's career or their career with a team as a manager, as a player or whatever, strictly by winning a championship. Now, you win a championship, that changes everything. But Rob went to the playoffs every year. He took over from Joe Girardi and he changed the team. And he did it with, Philadelphia is not an easy place to manage or to coach a team. And Rob did it his way. He was loyal to his guys. He never threw anybody under the bus. He acted like a true pro. He was good to the fans, never mouthed off about anything like that. So I remember Rob Thompson as disappointing they didn't win a World Series, but still a very productive tenure as Phillies manager.
Well, we're going to get the full breakdown from you tomorrow when you get back here. We appreciate you taking some time on the day off to hop in and react to the Rob Thompson news. Flyers are fine, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I don't want to hear. Don't even talk about their losing in 7. Flyers are fine. They got this. We will talk about that tomorrow.
Sounds good, Johnny. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Appreciate you jumping on with us.
All right, guys. Later.
Johnny Marks, the man whose name's right behind us.
Yep.
Middays with Marks, jumping in today on his day off to react to Rob Thompson being fired. I see we got people on the phone line, 610-632-0975. We'll get to you on the other side. I know we got plenty of texts on the Davis Honda text line. Get in on your reaction. Rob Thompson fired. Does it excite you? Now fired up to watch Phillies baseball. Here, season turns around today. Boys are figuring it out.
It's baseball season, boys.
Can the season start? Alongside Sean Brace, I'm Ray Dunn. We'll keep answering that question coming up here on 97.5 The Fanatic. He wait for those bats. That's
coming.
This isn't going to fix him.
It's coming.
Don Mattingly, the confidence of Donnie Baseball watching you from the top step is what's changing this team.
No, I look at guys that are in on the inside and that have been around the league a long time. I would imagine, I got to do some digging here, but like, how many times has Harper been through a new manager? How many times has JT been through a new manager? Trey. You go over to the pitching staff, like.
Yeah, a bunch of old guys on the team. They've probably seen some things in baseball. Not going to make them any younger.
245, I am looking forward to Dombrowski's.
How much accountability?
Oh, he's going to get pressed.
He's going to get pressed.
That's the difference. And I think he's going to have to own up to it. And that's why I say, like, we're trying to figure this out, what's going to be taking place in November, December, the hot stove. And who knows even if a season is being played next year, right? That's going to come into the conversation.
That's really what's so, crushes me about the way this season started and the way I feel about this team right now. You're telling me that I might go through a summer where they stink, and then I'm going to go through a summer where we're going to be making up baseball games to react to?
I hope cooler heads will prevail next December. It doesn't seem likely, but that's why I'm like, hold up as far as trying to figure out who's going to take over this gig. And maybe we got a long way to go. If they continue on this path, you go ahead and extrapolate the data. Give me the numbers of 9-19 throughout the course of 162 and where we at as far as a win-loss record come the end of the season. And if it's as bad as it is right now here on April 28th, Dombrowski ain't coming back, bro.
No. Buster only, by the way. As a part of the Phillies process, they've done their background work on Alex Cora and his availability to manage, but now is not the right time fresh off his firing by the Red Sox.
And that sounds about right.
So that's following up on Nightingale saying that Cora was off.
Cora is not in a desperate spot. Yes, he was just fired. This is a successful manager with the Red Sox. Just got them to the playoffs last year. I know it was a short time with the Yankees. World Series champion back in 2018. There's a lot to like about Alex Cora. He ain't got to rush into this. This would have been and you talk about a bleak situation, 9-19. Come on over here. We joked about this yesterday.
Right.
The water's warm. No, it's not.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's very.
Give me my money. Let me take my money, go be with my family. I'll see you next summer. You know that trip I always wanted to take somewhere? Go take it this year. Greece is lovely this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
Rome's beautiful. I don't know, actually. I've never been to Europe, but it sounds great. Sounds like a great idea for the guy. All right, let's go to Bryn Mawr and talk with Mike at 610-632-0975. Mike, you're on the Fanatic. Mike. All right, well, Mike, we appreciate you holding, but nothing from him. He's just so heartbroken, probably sobbing in the corner right now while his phone was waiting on a hold there. Let's go to the Davis Honda text line, get some reaction to what we've seen today. The news that Rob Thompson is no longer the Phillies manager, Don Mattingly, the interim manager. What do we got, Patricia?
Okay, I'm not seeing a lot of happy texts about this at all. In fact, it's just more problems, people are saying. So Norm in Mayfair, top or gone, doesn't matter. The Phillies are not elite, probably third or fourth in the division in the end. They can only beat a bad pitcher occasionally, and then talks about the Flyers. But we'll focus on the Phillies for now.
So Norm saying no good, doesn't do much for him. And then that's a tough thing. Like, I guess it's more I need to see with my eyes this team play better baseball. And, yeah, they're sleepwalking.
Mm-hmm.
How much this wakes up. Like, they did not like Joe Girardi, right? So when Joe goes, like, maybe there was a little bit of the juices flowing. They felt a little bit more relaxed. They could go back out there. Now they're too relaxed. They're too comfortable. I don't know if Don Mattingly is this swift kick in the rear end that they need to, like, lock in.
Yeah.
And I saw Jason Stark tweeted, I didn't get a chance to read it yet, that he wrote a column, is this more 2022 or 2012? Where it's like, is this a team that just needed the change of manager and they're going to start rolling? Or is it just an old baseball team? And there's a lot of me right now that's struggling with the idea that it's an old baseball team.
Correct.
That
yeah, we're not alone with that.
Right. The reset, like, that we're talking this offseason, if not about a lockout, about how do you, like, kind of jolt the system here and reset with a lot of what money will be coming off the books. And that's a conversation for later. But it's part of the reason why I don't find myself too excited right now, because I don't know that this is going to be the end-all to turn themselves around. But I'm curious to hear from more people at Davis Honda text line 610-632-0975. I know we also got some memos. Let's actually get a voice memo in here. What do we got?
Hey, fellas. Brendan from Manayunk here, window cleaner. Sean, Ray, the Phillies are back, boys. Thanks for the memories, Topper. It was a great run. But you know what? They just haven't gotten the job done. Honestly, it's not all Topper's fault. There's way too much talent in this locker room, though, for them to be underperforming like this. And it comes down to the players. They needed something to jolt them to get going here because you got a lot of winnable series coming up with Miami, Athletics, the Rockies, Boston, Pittsburgh. By the time we get out there in late May and Ray and I are in San Diego enjoying the sun, this Phillies team should be competing for the top spot in the East again. So let's get after it. Let's turn the tides. Let's save the season. Let's get going. The boys are buzzing. The Phillies are back. Come on.
I see that's a little positive vibe that I'm looking for.
If you look at the schedule and you look at the names on paper for the Phillies, you say winnable stretch coming up. If you look at what you've watched for the first month of the season, you say, why would I watch it all? I'll be there tonight. But that's kind of the way I feel right now.
Look, bats are bats. I'm not going to sit here and say that they're going to turn it around. I hope that will be the case. But I am looking at that pitching staff. They could absolutely be better than what they've been showing. And that's the difference. That's my only hope, right? That's my hope, that the starting pitching can return to somewhat of the expectational form that we were pitching before the season started. I get it. You hope in one hand and wish in the other, right? And Larry, you know what the saying is. But here we are right now, and this is the reality. Rob Thompson out.
All right, I want to get to Mike because he was holding, and now it's calling back in. Mike and Bryn Mawr. Mike, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Gentlemen, how are you? Thank you for taking my call.
Appreciate you making it.
I'm just, after listening to the last caller, I can appreciate his optimism, but I really can't help to think that we've lost a lot here a little bit as a fan base. I mean, the history of this organization, I don't know how many times we've made the playoffs, but this gentleman made the playoffs 4 straight years, okay? He didn't choke on 2 cold nights against Arizona and LCS. He didn't disappear or make an error at first base against Houston in the World Series. He's made the playoffs 4 straight years. Dave Dombrowski has built an absolutely atrocious roster. You have no 4-hole hitter. You haven't filled the gap in left field in 4 years now. We've been asking for the same thing. So to fire Rob, who's respected immensely in that clubhouse, to think that and we're a veteran clubhouse led by guys that really shouldn't need a new voice, to think that they're going to turn around now and get this juice in them when, let's be honest, Bryce doesn't like Dombrowski. I see that resentment only growing there. So, and from my opinion, we've now alienated the clubhouse and driven a gap where these guys, there's no doubt in my mind from an athlete's perspective, they know Rob Thompson should be there and Dave Dombrowski shouldn't. But that's not the case, and
So, Mike, I hear what you're saying about the way, and I appreciate you making the phone call. I hear what you're saying.
Yes.
About the idea that hey, they might be upset with management about the way this is handled. I can't imagine that was a great conversation that went down between Dombrowski and crew afterwards. But they also realize the industry that they're in, and it's like if something had to happen.
Correct.
I don't think anyone got on that plane in Atlanta, looked around, and said, everyone on this flight is going to be there Tuesday night when the game gets going.
No.
I just don't. I think that would be naive to assume.
You thought I was throwing my pen at you.
I did. I was going to duck there.
No, and Dave, good call. I'm not here to jump on you, but he was the manager of those teams that came up short in those moments that you referenced. He was the manager. He is the leader. They are comfortable under him. What we have seen so far is not acceptable. He had to go. 9-19. You can miss me with what took place in these past 4 seasons, and I want to give him all the love and credit in the world for winning back-to-back division titles. None of that matters when what you've shown us through 28 games.
And Mike is right when he says the holes have not been addressed in terms of left field or talking about the cleanup spot.
Yet, Dombrowski is pitching the idea behind the scenes that the trade deadline is a place that you can, You
have to be in contention.
Understood. Fair point.
That's it. Like I saw a Yankees fan page talking about Duran, and I was like, whoa. I'm not in sell-off mode yet of Phillies players. I was like, relax over here.
If they kept Thompson, I think we would be in sell mode pretty soon here. This is last.
See, but if you feel that way about the team, we'll get to this coming up in the 12 o'clock hour. I think that was Ricky Bo dancing around. Maybe we'll get him to jump in and give a quick reaction to what happened. We'll have that for you in the 12 o'clock hour. It's the same guys. And that's where I'm struggling with the excitement right now. We'll keep with that idea coming on. We'll keep reacting to the news. You can get in 610-632-0975. Alongside Sean Brace, I'm Ray Dunn. This is Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports
The
Update.
Phillies are moving on. I am Patricia Caputo with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies have fired manager Rob Thompson after the team lost 11 of their last 12 games. Don Mattingly will take over as interim head manager for the rest of the season. Tim Kelly joined the show earlier and explained how the players may feel about the change.
I think they'd be upset and feel like they let them down, and we'll see whether that translates to them being able to move forward here and turn the season around.
Don Mattingly's work begins at 6:40 p.m. tonight as the Phillies will take on the Giants at Citizens Bank Park. The Flyers took a 3-2 loss to the Penguins Monday night. The Flyers lead the series 3-2. They have the day off today, but we'll see if they can secure a series win in Game 6 on Wednesday. The Sixers will try to avoid playoff elimination tonight against the Celtics. Celtics currently have a 3-1 lead. Joel Embiid listed as probable. You can listen to Sixers Celtics starting at 7 p.m. live right here on The Fanatic. The Eagles picked up fifth-year options for Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter Monday, and the Union have off until Saturday, where they will take on Nashville SC. This update is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just don't know you can save money on your car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first with a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I am Patricia Caputo on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic app.
That's right, your chance to win $1,000 Fanatic Parlay Cash. Our contest keyword is coin, C-O-I-N, coin. Like it was going to take a lot of coin to get Alex Cora to be your manager after firing Rob Thompson. You have until 25 minutes after the hour to enter it on the Fanatic app or at 975thefanatic.com, or you can text it to the special contest short code 45911. One random entry wins $1,000 in this company-wide contest. Winners will get a call from Beasley. So be sure to answer your phone. Contest rules at 975thefanatic.com. Fanatic Parlay Cash stood up by Iron Mountain Men's Health. 5 chances to win each weekday, 8 and 10 a.m., 12 noon, 3 and 5 p.m. Your chance right now at 12 noon comes from the word coin. Turn of the bats tonight, please.
You're on one with the puns.
I'm begging you. I'm begging you. What Texter said on Davis Honda text line 610-632-0975 that they would rather get the root canal, 6 root canals, a couple root canals,
Said
than
a
watch
couple,
the Phillies.
yes. So it says they were in the dentist chair finding out the news and would rather get a couple of these than watch the Phillies.
No.
I'm curious if that person's ever had one before or just found out that they need one, because they could say that. I doubt they would actually go through with that. Have you had the root canal before?
Have not. Healthy teeth over here. Never had a cavity. Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood for that, too. I am also that way.
Charlie from Linwood.
Charlie from Linwood. So, yeah, Charlie, I would caution you not to because the root canal, the pain lasts. For the Phillies, you can turn the channel. That's kind of the way I would break that one down for you. If you want to get in reacting to the news that Rob Thompson has been fired, you can at 610-632-0975. No news at noon today. We appreciate you putting together a news at noon, Trish, but the news today came at about 11 o'clock.
Oh, you got your news at noon. It's right here.
Yeah, it's right here, and we got it today. And what we've gotten today so far, the news of the firing, I don't think it's shocking to anyone. I thought maybe they'd go Kevin Long instead. I thought it was really interesting the fact that they had announced to the media, hey, Rob Thompson will speak in the dugout. I mentioned earlier in the show that it was the day of the game last time around with Joe Girardi, so it didn't mean that he was out of the woods yet, but it was odd to announce that he was going to be available to the media and then do it today. Kevin Long, I mean, I guess the counterpoint to that in my head as I say that is that if they hadn't announced anything last night about him being available to the media, people probably would start asking questions about, hey, Rob going to speak in the dugout? Why isn't he speaking? Kevin Long was the other name that people thought might go. He remains as the hitting coach for this team. Don Mattingly, the interim manager through the end of the 2026 season. And Alex Cora has now been thrown around quite a bit. And I guess I would ask people as we continue to walk through the reaction here, would you have been more aggressive in the pursuit? I made the joke there with coin, our Fanatic Parlay Cash keyword here. Would you have thrown some coin around to make sure he was here? Because I'll be honest with you, I am not tossing a ton of money around to go get that manager, to go get Alex Cora. Oh, look at this.
Uh-oh.
Ricky Bo out of the bullpen, wanting to react. Ricky Pitalico.
I felt guilty for you.
How you feel?
A little bit on both sides of this. I think something needed to be done first and foremost. This is a shock value.
Yeah.
I don't think it's enough shock value.
I was going to say, I don't know how many people will be shocked right now by this.
Well, maybe the team, because they think, here's the thing. You know what? There's kryptonite somewhere all the time. And, maybe they thought that Rob's cape over them was big, and that was something that was going to carry them through a lot of games. But I think right now you're in a situation where you had to do something. Am I a little surprised? Maybe, because the other culprits are all still there.
Yeah, just Rob Thompson.
Just Rob Thompson is a little surprising.
If you had gotten on that plane as a player leaving Atlanta,
you would have known.
You would have known.
Yeah. There's no doubt. They got on that plane and they knew something. They knew something was going to happen. Dave Dombrowski had 3 of his right-hand men there.
Right.
That's like being in a mafia and the 3 hitmen are sitting in the same seats you are. I mean, come on. You knew something was up. You knew something was going on. You knew something was in the making. And, was it inevitable? Probably. I'm going to tell you right now, do I think Rob Thompson deserved it? No. It wasn't his fault. You know who this lies on, right? The 26 guys that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I think the whole irony of this whole situation is Schwarber's hitting home runs like he normally does, and Harper's having a good start to his season. What the hell is going on? It's not just one area. That's the big problem.
We spent the entire offseason talking about Bryce Harper, and it's the other guys in the lineup right now pitching.
Well, it's especially 4 through 9.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take away 9 because I call that Justin Crawford. I think he's doing all right for himself, especially first time in the big leagues. But you're right. It's the pitching staff has been awful. I mean, here's what this was done for. It was done so these players go home and look themselves in the mirror
and
ask whose fault it was.
And as a former player, what do you anticipate that reaction being? Like, because I'm sitting here, I'm not too excited about this.
Well, they're playing crappy teams here. They should win a lot of games.
They should.
You would hope.
See, if they don't, there's bigger problems than we even know. If they go into this series and they lose 2 out of 3 to San Fran and lose a series to the Marlins, well, we're going to be losing our freaking minds.
I think then we know how this summer is going to play out.
Yes. You nailed it on the head.
It crushes me to say that because it's just the reality where we're at, that if that's the case, the season's over in the first week of May. It might very well, the whole might be, but again, so many teams make the playoffs these days, but the division seems like it could be out of reach at this point.
If I would have told you the Phillies would be 10.5 games out on the 28th of April, what would you have said to me? I'm out of my mind.
Yeah, no shot. I would have been like, I'll take it.
And if I would have said, they're going to lose 11 out of 12 in April. No
Rage
way.
bait. I would have done all the words that Colorado throws around. That's what I would have said about it.
Just everything is wrong right now.
What do you want to hear from Dombrowski at 2:45? Is there anything he could say to calm things down? Maybe it's on me. This isn't like. What do you want to hear?
I would like for him to say that he is somewhere at fault because he's the guy who could not pick up a number 4 hitter. Still, he's the guy that has brought in certain guys in Castellanos, gone $19.3 million sitting on John Middleton's table for him not being on the team. Taijuan Walker, a 4-year deal, which was somewhat, I guess at the time it was okay, but he proved otherwise on the field.
Yep.
He did not pitch well, although he was a gamer. He would take the ball whenever you asked him to, and he became a valuable asset in that aspect. But that's a $4 million guy, not a $18 million guy. I think there's been too many moves made here. A lot of lost money made here by Dave Dombrowski. He's got to say something that, you know what, I've been partially at fault. Do that, because that would make me feel better. I'm sure it would make a lot of people feel better, because I think everybody in this market knows that it's not Rob Thompson's fault.
No, certainly not Rob Thompson's fault.
You ever go through a manager getting fired?
At the end of the season.
So
matter of fact, when I was on the Mets of all teams, I got cut last day of spring training. They had to pay me my money because I was supposed to be, for some reason, like literally, they went out, got me a passport, everything, because we had to play in Puerto Rico first series. Told me I made the team. Come down to the last day, they're like, we're going to have to let you go. And I'm like, what? Literally got my car, was driving back to Connecticut like a couple days later, played some golf in between.
Nice.
And was driving up to Connecticut, got a call from Jim Duquette. Hey, you might as well just stop at Norfolk. And basically, gave me what they were going to give me and stuff like that. And I said, sounds good to me. I went to Norfolk, pitched 9 innings at Norfolk. No runs, nothing. It was easy, man. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. That was AAA.
When you go down, you've been in the big leagues for so long, you go to AAA. It was actually simple to pitch.
I relate,
AAA. And and then I get to the Mets in early. He gave me a date I would be called up by. I was called up by that date. I ended up having the most appearances in that bullpen. So, and I had like a 3.3 ERA, whatever it was, good ERA for a setup type guy. And I get called in the office after the last game of the season. Art Howe was the manager. Tells me, thank you very much. You saved my job for half of that season.
Really?
I said, what? He goes, yes, you personally saved my job. I said, thanks, bye.
Yeah.
And then he got fired.
Then he gets canned.
So, and that kind of sucked because I didn't end up getting a multi-year deal there. And I probably would have.
If he was there.
Yeah.
Right. Damn.
You know what? It is what it is, and the players should know that it's on them. And that's what I want them to know. It is on those 26 guys in the clubhouse. It is not on Rob Thompson. It is not on Don Mattingly. It's not on Kevin Long. It's not on Caleb Cotham, no matter how many times we want to preach that it is. It's not on those guys. It's on those 26 guys that sit in that clubhouse.
So for you right now, obviously we could talk about Dave Dombrowski's coming up at 2:45. You guys will have it on
We'll have him on at 2:45. We're also going to have Don Mattingly on at 3:45.
Okay.
Oh, yes. So, nice. Great.
Back-to-back there for you in the 2 hours. But for you want to hear more accountability probably after the game tonight than even in the Dombrowski presser. You want more player conversation tonight? You want to hear that from them post-game, I would assume?
Well, how many are we going to hear from? I mean, let's be honest. This is like the hidden gem of Major League Baseball now is that only 3 guys speak a night, if you're lucky.
Well, I mean, for a leader on this team.
We will hear from Bryce Harper. We will hear from Kyle Schwarber and probably Mattingly tonight. And
Right.
That's it.
Well, I mean, those are the guys that have to speak. Like, with all due respect to some of these guys.
Schwarbs and Harper, those are guys that will take it to heart. And those are guys that say it's on us. Like, they might not say it's on me personally, but it's on us.
Right.
That's how it should be stated, and they should be having a players-only meeting when they get into it.
Well, it's a veteran-led clubhouse. That's what we were all told. You know, why Rob Thompson ultimately, like, hey, it works because
But there's at some point, the players get to a point where they think they run the team. I think this tells them, no, this is not your team. This is our team. This is John Middleton's team, and what we're going to do is straighten this thing out. Or, you know what? Other people are going to have to pay. That's what they're trying to say.
Yeah. Ricky Bo, coming up, 2 o'clock, Unfiltered. Appreciate you jumping in.
All kinds of stuff going on. A lot of Rob Thompson talk. We might sprinkle in a little Flyers.
You worried?
Tough game. Of course I am. You know, you don't win game 6,
anxiety.
Then you're scared. Then you're scared.
Yeah.
But I think Tocchet will have them ready to come out in game 6. It's a must win. I mean, you don't want to go back to Pittsburgh. But when I look at the 2 losses, it's both on Vladar, by the way.
Yeah.
Last night, a lot of people, the one thing I heard on air, and I was like, no, you're wrong, is that he was in position for that play. He was not. He was a foot outside of the goalpost, number 1. You can't be, there's a reason why you're supposed to stay within the posts. And we saw the reason last night.
The Punks and Sticks program right there.
I know it's a crap goal, but
yeah,
it's a ridiculous goal.
Yep. 2:45, we're going to have Dave Nabrowski. 3:45, we're going to have Don Mattingly. All on Unfiltered, 2 to 6, Monday through Friday.
Hey, listen, we got to break the news.
Myself and William Colarulo.
How about that?
I don't know who that is, but yeah.
You guys have a good end.
Yeah. So, Ricky Bo, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you taking the time.
Nice work, Rick.
Hanging out with us, reacting to the news. Rob Thompson. Out. We'll continue to react with you at 610-632-0975. Come on and get in with your voice memos, your texts, your phone calls. We'll get to it. I saw Mad Mike. I would imagine this is a celebration day for him, just because something bad happened in Philadelphia sports, and, you know, he's probably thrilled. I know he's been thrilled with the start to the season. If he wants to jump back in, he can. I saw we have a voice memo that's blaming me specifically.
Oh, you?
For Rob Thompson getting fired, which is really interesting. I am hitting 000 this season. I have not yet to register a hit for the Phillies, so that is on me. That's my bad. But I'd love to hear how it's my fault that Rob Thompson got fired. Go right ahead.
This is Kevin from Delco, and you got to be honest with you. I got to be honest. This isn't Dabrowski. It's not the players' fault. It's none of their faults that Rob Thompson was fired. This is your fault, Ray Dunn. This is the jinx and the curse that you brought to Philadelphia, to South Philly specifically, over the past month or so. You got to get out of South Philly. You're ruining everything. This is all your fault. Do us all a favor tomorrow when the Flyers are playing. Don't go to South Philly. Please, just don't go to South Philly. Right? You should be ashamed of yourself. This firing, you just cost a man his job. Stay out of South Philly for all of our sakes.
All right, spin zone on this. I just got a guy retired. Rob Thompson is now retired thanks to me.
Just don't meet Don Mattingly anytime soon, please.
So am I not allowed to go tonight? Is that it? We're starting a new era?
I don't blame you whatsoever. Yeah. I blame the 26 guys inside the clubhouse, like Ricky said. Come on. I know he's having some fun. Good call there. No, I think we can blame you for the Flyers and the Sixers that weekend, but this isn't on you.
No, I mean, to get to the root of all this is on the guys for performing. It's more on Dave Dombrowski for the roster that he's constructed, because if you look at if you believe Rob Thompson is in sole possession of the lineup card every day, that he is the one that solely puts it together, which I don't necessarily subscribe to. I think there's a number of people in that organization that have something to do with that lineup being put together.
Lineup being put together or signing the players?
No, the lineup. Putting the
What difference does it make if you're helping out putting a lineup when Alec Boehm is the worst player at his position?
That's what I mean. Right now, no matter how you configure 1 through 9, it's not going to look good.
Correct.
It's not so much as let's just move this guy, move that guy, move this guy, move that. None of them. From 4 to 9, whether or not you move them up to 2, move them down to 7, you got nothing right now from a lot of those guys. And that's the biggest thing for me is I get why people today would say, hey, yeah, it's time for Rob Thompson to go. Oh, Schwarber and Harper are talking pregame, according to Ricky Bowe. We just got that passed along to us.
Good. All hands on deck at this point in time. See, this is what excited me. People were calling up and wondering why I'd be excited. Well, this right here. Oh, you got their attention. Is that going to translate to all of a sudden, as we just brought up Bohm and guys that need to step up, Stock, get a little bit more, Turner? No, I can't sit here and guarantee that. But I can guarantee this definitely had a ripple effect and will have a ripple effect to that clubhouse, as you're seeing. Now they have to answer for it.
Well, they were going to have to answer for it at some point, whether it be before or after the game. I think it's nice they're going before the game because they're obviously going to, probably give the Flyers to Rob Thompson, and two of them are going to say it's on us.
Good.
It is. I mean, there's no other way to slice it than saying that specifically. It's on them.
If you could fire a player instead of Thompson, who would you fire first? Who's coming to your office, right? Who's dropping by and you're saying, thank you for your services, but your job is no longer available at the corporation?
I mean, I don't want to put it on Bohm, but Bohm would be I feel like the logical first choice.
He's brutal. I think statistically he is. Did you see what he's slashing? He is like the worst at his position in Major League Baseball.
Right. The only reason it's not Stott is because he's got a decent glove. That's the only reason. And even he has had some defensive, I wouldn't call them miscue, but lapses. All of them have had mental lapses, which is why it has to happen.
Yeah.
And nobody's telling you Rob Thompson shouldn't have gone. It's just that there's so many more deserving people to have gone that at this point it's kind of ridiculous to keep run around the circle on that.
People are checking in wondering, hey, again, what's there to be excited about? 3 against the Giants, 4 against the Marlins, 3 against the A's, 3 against the Rockies, 3 against the Red Sox. That is a path that you could start playing some better baseball. And, oh, by the way, putting up some numbers in the right column, getting some victories. This team has to start winning baseball games, or else this season is a wrap. It's over.
Well, they're telling you we're at that point. I mean, if this isn't rock bottom looks real ugly.
Now, did it play out in the best case scenario? As bad as it has been, 9-19, you just had the day off. You made the phone call to Cora. Topper's out. Now you have winnable baseball games. You got the Giants at home. You got 4 against the Marlins, 3 against the A's. Did it play out? Is the board setting up, I guess, Ray, is what I'm asking you.
Well, the board was setting up regardless of who the manager was. That's again, the thing I keep coming back to. You go into this stretch thinking, hey, you have an opportunity to win some baseball games. That's when you go into this series, regardless of who the manager was today. I was going to go in tonight thinking, hey, maybe they got a shot. And maybe that's my own, false hope, false bravado, because they haven't shown me that so far this season. But I look at the names on the paper and I look at the opponents coming up, and it's not just because they have a new manager. It's because it's the reality of what I think they are.
Yep.
You have the opportunity to win. They ultimately didn't do enough in the first 28 to save their manager's job. They probably did enough in the first 28 to see a wholesale, a number of changes, including Kevin Long, that didn't end up happening. Alex Cora wasn't just Alex Cora up there in Boston. They said see you to a lot of guys. And I saw a tweet, I think the username was Annie something that tweeted us saying, could Cora have been turning it down because Cora wanted to bring more staff with him? I mean, maybe. I would think probably it's just the idea of I don't want to deal with this right now.
It's a hot name.
And your market's going to be even better in the offseason.
Correct.
When you have the opportunity for teams to bid against themselves.
Hit the refresh button.
Right.
Relax.
Again, Greece is lovely this time of year. Rome's lovely this time of year. Go find them.
How's Myrtle Beach?
Wonderful this time of year.
I hope.
Actually, I've heard my sister goes to Coastal.
Nice.
So she's right now, weather's not as great.
Yeah,
as
it's 69. It's going to be 71.
Right, yeah.
I'm not going to complain.
It's so terrible. So awful.
Get a good tan.
Walking through 40-degree weather the last couple of days. Was out in the rain at the tailgates of the Flyers games.
Hey, a lot more insight and information coming our way, including Luke Arcani, who's always down at Citizens Bank Park. He'll be there for Dombrowski. He's going to join us coming up at 12:30.
Gotcha. So we'll talk to him coming up in the next segment. We want to hear from you at 610-632-0975. A lot of texts coming in, voice memos about Rob Thompson losing his job. Also, there's been some reaction nationally. I know MLB Network's already had Todd Zalecki on. They've already had, I believe, Matt Gelb on. So we'll try and get some of that to you, what they're saying about this team. Coming up in this 12 o'clock hour. We're reacting all day to the news. Rob Thompson no longer the Phillies manager. How are you going to remember that tenure? I asked that question to Johnny Marks because I think I'm going to remember it a lot fonder than a number of people in this fan base, just given how loud it got for him at the end of last season, the end of the season before. and certainly over the last couple of weeks. Alongside Sean Brace, I'm Ray Dunn. This is Middays of Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies are moving on. I am Patricia Caputo with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies have fired manager Rob Thompson after the team lost 11 of their last 12 games. Don Mattingly will take over as interim manager for the rest of the season. Tim Kelly joined the show earlier and explained how the players may feel about the change.
I think it'd be upset and feel like they let him down, and we'll see whether that translates to them being able to move forward here and turn the season around.
Donnie Baseball's work begins at 6:40 p.m. tonight as the Phillies will take on the Giants at Citizens Bank Park. The Flyers took a loss to the Penguins Monday night, making it their second straight loss. The Flyers still lead the series 3-2. They'll have the day off today, but we'll see if they can secure a series win in Game 6 on Wednesday. The Sixers will try to avoid playoff elimination tonight against the Celtics. The Celtics currently have a 3-1 lead. Joel Embiid listed as probable. You can listen to Sixers Celtics starting at 7 p.m. live right here on The Fanatic. And the Eagles picked up fifth-year options for Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter Monday, and the Union have off until Saturday, where they will take on Nashville SC. This update is brought to you by Hartford Auto Insurance. Drivers 50 and over can count on Hartford Auto Insurance for protection that brings peace of mind. The Hartford, your protection is their passion, provided by the Hartford Insurance Group. I am Patricia Caputo on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Thompson out. Don Mattingly in. That's the news of the day here on Middays with Marks. Alongside Sean Brace, I'm Ray Dunn. We heard from Johnny Marks earlier. Jumped on his day off. Checked in with us. I think you'll be able to watch that back at some point on YouTube. Definitely check out every reaction we've had so far here today. Ricky Bowe jumped in the last segment talking about what exactly he sees in the move to fire Rob Thompson. Now, quickly, because we got our buddy Luke Arcani on the line here of Crossing Broad, covers the Phillies. We'll be down there for Dave Dombrowski's presser at 2:45. If you had to go the former player route, if we did the Jeff Saturday Colts version of naming an interim manager here, who would it be for you?
It's Jimmy Rollins.
J-Roll?
Yeah, it's J-Roll. He's got the attitude. He's got the, the vibes down. He knows how to approach big moments, to turn things around. Look, he was here for a long, long time. He's had plenty of ups, plenty of downs, too, as well. J-Roll would be my hypothetical choice. Let's roll with that.
J-Roll was the choice I'd made last week. After that interview they did with Chase Utley, the clip of him being a mean you-know-what, I don't know, man. If you need a kick in the pants, maybe Chase Utley coming in there, go a little bit crazy. Obviously, we're being facetious here on what exactly would happen for this team. But, that'll be fun for the text line, too. It's 610-632-0975. Let's go wrong answers only on that.
Ooh.
If you had to do the Jeff Saturday Colts method of naming an interim coach, an interim manager for this Phillies team, who would it be?
Well, that changes things. My answer would be Jason Worth then.
Jason, we love you. We want to talk to you this week.
I kid. Jason would be awesome, yeah.
Jonathan Papelbon would be my choice. Ooh. Wrong answers only. I would love to see Bryce Harper's face that when Rob Thompson's replaced by Jonathan Papelbon as the manager of this team.
Nice.
That would be my wrong answer here. The right answer is having the opportunity to talk to our guy Luke Arcani of Crossing Broad, covers the Phillies. Join us right now. Luke, just immediate, instant reaction. What were you thinking today when you saw the news that Rob Thompson was no longer the manager of the Phillies?
Yeah, I think, it was a move that I think something had to be done, right? And I don't think anybody was shocked when they saw the notification hit, but it's something that, doesn't feel like it was, this doesn't feel like the end that Rob Thompson deserved. It feels like, he has the best winning percentage of a Phillies manager since 1900. When that happens and a guy like that gets fired, there has to be bigger problems. I think that's the situation they're in right now. But ultimately, 9-9 team with a top 5 payroll in baseball, something needs to change. And I think the off day was probably crucial in this decision.
Yeah, Luke. And then we found out from Bob Nightingale, he was first reported, I know it's been followed up by some, that they reached out to Alex Cora, who was just let go from the Boston Red Sox. Your thoughts on that? And does that make you feel differently about Don Mattingly taking over now?
Not necessarily. I think hiring an out-of-house manager in season is difficult. You don't really see it a lot. Obviously, the reports say that he wants to, just spend some time with his family, at least until this season is done. Now, based on the reports, it doesn't seem like Don Mattingly maybe wants this job after this season. Mattingly said when he was hired as bench coach that he probably doesn't plan on managing again in baseball. And now 28 games into his bench coach tenure with the Phillies, he is now the interim manager. So I don't expect Mattingly to be the coach of this team in 2027. So that, I think, opens the door for Alex Cora or, maybe another out-of-house candidate. But, yeah, it's a little funny that, Mattingly came in and said he doesn't have any plans to manage, and here we are not even into May, and he is now the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies.
I'm curious for you. Coming up at 2:45, we'll carry it live here on the Fanatic. Unfiltered, we'll have it. Dave Dombrowski speaking to the media. What are you looking to get from Dave Dombrowski today?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, what went into the decision. Obviously the record, but, is there something there that they think a new voice can really turn this around? Because I see a lot of people, trying to compare this to 2022, and it just doesn't work for me. Joe Girardi was not a great manager for the Phillies. Rob Thompson was a good manager for the Phillies. I think Girardi's departure was good for the team. And I think at this point, they had to try something, but I don't know how it gets better if you continue to trot out, the same 26 players and the same guys and still have, guys like Dylan Moore playing games in center field, right? This ultimately, to me, comes down to roster construction. And I think Rob Thompson took the fall for multiple years of a roster that wasn't good enough. They played 28 games, and he's trotted out 21 different lineups this year. And for a guy that, fans complain about the lineup, 21 lineups in 28 games is just about trying everything you can, and nothing has worked so far. I'm a little curious to see if Dombrowski, maybe owns it on the chin a little bit about the current state of this roster. I don't know if he will or he won't, but, that's really the big thing for me today.
Luke Arcani joining us from Crossing Broad, talking all things about Rob Thompson, and now removed as the Phillies manager. One thing that I am hanging my hat on, Luke, that will change, maybe a little desperation mode, but this is what happens when you fire the manager 28 games in here on April 28th. Starting pitching. It is the worst in Major League Baseball. So let's start there as far as ERA is concerned. Guys, it can only go one way, boys. That's it. It can only go down, all right? Well, maybe it could go up. But as far as rankings...
Trust me, that's not true. It can go the other way.
Rankings are concerned, you can only go one direction. So what is your read on the starting pitching, and can it get better? Do you expect it to get better? These guys are better than what we've seen so far.
I do expect it to get better. Listen, I don't think at this point it would be hard for them to finish the season top 5. But obviously you don't have Walker anymore. You put Zach Wheeler back into the rotation. That is a big jump from Taijuan Walker to Zach Wheeler. That's nearly about as big of a jump as you can get. I will say, and it's been a rough start for Aaron Nola, and it's been a rough start for Jesus Luzardo. I haven't taken much into the Andrew Painter start. I think he's been a little better than the ERA shows, and I think, he's young. I think he'll get there. But I will say, and this is not making excuses because the rotation has been bad, but they've also gotten a little unlucky this year. It feels like there is just a ton of blue pits and balls just into no man's land. And also on top of that, really bad defense from the Phillies to start the year. So hopefully the defense can tune things up because they were a fairly all right defensive team last year. But I think that ERA will get better.
Bad defense, bad pitching, bad hitting. It's why a manager gets fired. And, Luke, we're going to be looking forward to your coverage of the Dave Dombrowski presser coming up at 2:45. We appreciate you taking a couple of minutes and joining us.
He's going to be busy.
Yes, sir. Thanks, guys.
There he is.
Luke Arcani, Crossing Broad, covers the Phillies. And I'm loving that we got some of these wrong answers rolling in here. We'll get to those on the other side. 610-632-0975. The wrong answers only for former Phillies players that we want to see be the interim manager. Because a la the world in which Jeff Saturday took over the Colts a few years ago. But also coming up, just talking through that. The idea of this team getting better, the idea of this team turning it around. I want to get into that. And also a question we asked of Ricky, of John, how you remember the Rob Thompson tenure. Because I do kind of want to hear from the people that on the way out that are excited about this. Like there's a large subset of this fan base that's been waiting for this day, that wanted to pop the bottle of champagne after last season and say, hey, Rob's got to go.
Sorry.
And
couldn't help myself.
No, it's okay. Listen, the two of us, the show hosted by the two of us, you would imagine at some point a bottle, a can, or something would be cracked throughout the show. Yeah. Nothing's happened, by the way, for those of you that we haven't. He's just got his large coffee.
Got another hour.
An energy drink and maybe 6 other energy drinks hidden somewhere in this studio. But, the tenure of Rob Thompson, it's one of the winningest stretches in Phillies baseball, but I know the way the city feels about him. When you see the end today, how do you feel about what he was as a manager here in Philadelphia? We'll get to that coming up as well. Alongside Sean Brace, I'm Ray Dunn. This is Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic. $2,300 from purchasing a heating and cooling system. Learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. Rob Thompson, out as Phillies manager, exits with a .568 winning percentage. The best by any Phillies manager since Arthur Irwin had a .575 in his 2 seasons at the helm from 1894 and 1895.
What a time to be alive, Ray Dunn.
Oh, man, that was the best baseball you could have imagined, really. Phillies baseball, that was the golden era right there. 1894, 1895, the .575 winning percentage for Arthur Irwin. For Rob Thompson, how do you going to encapsulate all this? Because ultimately, Luke said it. It's not the ending he probably deserved. But then again, Charlie probably didn't deserve to walk out holding the Wawa bag in the middle of August for an aging team that had passed its prime. This is just the business. This is the way it goes. How are you going to encapsulate what the Rob Thompson experience was in Philadelphia?
This is the business. It's tough. It's tough to look back and, with no World Series title, that run to play the Astros in the World Series was fun until it wasn't. And then the other 2 seasons were cut short with serious expectations. I know last year that we were dreaming big, and I think I was up there, but you had the big bad Dodgers in front of you.
Right.
Fine line. It is a fine line. It's a fine line between looking back, honestly, from one man's perspective, one man's take, to each their own. There are plenty of people out there that want to put him on the Wall of Fame. There are people that are scoffing at that.
He's a Wall of Famer. I'll stand on that one right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's more of a promotional item, so I'm not going to hear. Oh, by the way, speaking of promotional, you can get yourself a BOGO hot dog tonight.
Final one of the season.
What? It's April 28th.
Just
fired the manager. You can't be. Whoa, timeout.
For now, it is.
Yeah, I was going to say, they might be rolling that bad boy back out in June.
Yeah, no, trust me. If the attendance dips, they'll be rolling it back out.
I want to be fair to Thompson and say it was a good run, really successful in the grand scheme of things, 2 division titles, and that's where it comes back to. It has to start with the fact that they were able to win back-to-back division titles. You're talking about a team that didn't make the playoffs for a few seasons after the 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11 run, and then that huge drought all the way until, of course, Girardi came in. Girardi gets fired. Rob Thompson was at the helm. You got to come away thinking positive about the run for Rob Thompson. I'm just trying to find, what exactly is the term I want to use. Was it great? I think you could say it was great because of the back-to-back division titles.
It was a great run that now in retrospect, knowing what we know, maybe the change, if you decided, hey, we're going to bring back Phil, and maybe you don't, maybe Schwarber looks at it and says, well, a change in manager, maybe whoever you brought in wasn't the guy for him. Or maybe JT looks at it the same way. How many more Topper? I don't know. Maybe those guys look at it differently. But if you were going to keep the DNA, if you were going to keep the actual players on the field the same, maybe in retrospect you look at the decision to bring him back after the 2025 season and say, hey, maybe it had run its course at that point. And once you had gone through 4 seasons, I understand. For the optics of a 96-win team getting rid of their manager because he didn't get past the Dodgers. And
fine line.
It is a fine line in terms of the way those games went. He was outmanaged by Dave Roberts in that series. Ultimately, they had 4 years where you weren't the ones that were raising the bleeping trophy by the end of the season. Maybe, again, in retrospect, you might look at that and say, if something had to change at the end of last season and you weren't planning to shake up the core of the roster, and it's tough to make that call before free agency, but ultimately, if you're Dave Dombrowski, you have to make tough calls. That's what you're supposed to do in your job. Maybe that's where that should have ended. Now that we're sitting here in April, I could easily say that because he's no longer the manager, and it looks like that would have been the way to go. But I'm going to remember it as a great run. I mean, the guy had no managing experience, took over for Joe Girardi, spun the entire thing around. The reason we're talking about this run is because the team ended up playing well. It just seems like the team by the end was like, yeah, we got our guy. This is our manager. This is our hitting coach. This is great. This is, and the country club, I know people throw around there, but it was like, this is our spot. These are our guys. This is what we do. And you hope that there is some sort of a shock value that pushes this team forward. I just don't know how much of a shock value Donnie Baseball brings into this team. It's going to have to be about the guys, like Ricky said earlier this hour, looking themselves in the mirror and saying, yeah, Like, this is us. We have to turn this up.
It starts now. It starts today. Like, I know there are people out there probably rolling their eyes going, yeah, all right, Brace. Like, we hear you. This team is what they are. And that may be how it plays out. That may be very well the reality that we need to come to realization that it's not going to change. And this is going to be a team that's selling whatever they can come trade deadline. But it's right here, right now. We went over the schedule. You can go ahead and look at for yourself. Next 19 games, very winnable games. So for a team that is currently 9-19, this is now go time. And I don't know if you can change things from a hitter's perspective or roll the dice or be more aggressive on the base path. Hell, you can't because you're not even on the base path to do anything. So that's why I come back and keep it really basic, and it comes to the starting pitching. A lot like Vladar with the Flyers, starting pitching has to be better. Vladar with the goal, like I can't sit here and try and sell you that Zegras is all of a sudden going to give you a hat trick. Porter Martone's going to score you multiple goals tomorrow. Right. No, I can't. I'm not going to spin you that, Trey Turner is all of a sudden going to start ripping the cover off the baseball. What I can tell you is that starting pitching is absolutely better than what we've seen so far.
It is, but to the point about Trey Turner there, like what you said about the starting pitching, the ERA, can it get any higher? In terms of the level of playing for these guys and the ability to hit the baseball when it comes to the Turners, the Bone, like the infield, that's not Bryce Harper pretty much. Can it get worse? Like, can you be worse?
I don't know.
Because if you are, man, oh man.
It's pretty
bad.
That
ballpark's going to need a BOGO hot dog night every night this year.
It's pretty bad.
It is. Is it? I mean, it's a disaster.
Luckily, there will be other things happening in the city that will be taking our eyes off of what's taking place at Citizens Bank Park to a point. And you know what? Just real quick on Rob Thompson, I'm underselling it a little bit as we're talking it through, because I just tuned in on Sunday and I'm like, I can't watch. There hasn't been a game since he's taken over that I said I can't watch, and I mean that.
Right.
Every single year since he is taking over, I've sat down, and is it always a rewarding experience? No, that doesn't mean they win every game. No, but at least I know I'm getting the best effort. It's a team that can go out there and win no matter the opponent. It wasn't until this year that I'm just like, man, what is going on? This is just, I got other things to do with my time.
And I just glanced at the YouTube chat. Someone said, what's the corrective move you've seen for him over the last couple of years? I don't know if it's a corrective thing as much as how many games they've won.
Well, you got to be realistic too, because look what Luke. Remember what Luke just said? 21 lineups this year.
Yeah,
they played 28.
They don't
games.
have a good enough.
So he tried. He's trying new things, not just like, oh, he's loyal to his players. He doesn't mix and move. No, he did,
and that was the problem I had with him in previous years. This year, he's mixing and moving. He's trying. Well, he was trying. Now he's not. All right, what do we got on the Davis Honda text line? 610-632-0975. People reacting to the news about Rob Thompson and maybe some of the fun of the wrong answers only.
I was going to ask, you want to start with the wrong answers only?
Yeah, let's start with some wrong answers only.
So we have wrong answers only. We have so far Taijuan Walker, Pete Rose, and Doc Rivers even got thrown in there.
Doc Rivers.
So here we go again. You know what? Doc would at least hold these guys accountable.
They would hate him.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
But, all right, hey, Doc would be like, don't look at me.
Doc would also hate it. His summer's taken away. He can't get to the golf course managing a baseball team.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing from Thompson's perspective, is that he was very, he would fall on the sword.
Oh, all the time.
Yep.
All the time for this team. And today, it appears, Schwarber and Harper talking pregame, that I would hope that they're going to give that same respect to him coming up this afternoon. I would imagine they do. You know what I'm really interested to see? And it would be a wrong answer only in Taijuan. I like the Taijuan answer. Just like after Rob Thompson waxed poetic about how great a teammate he was, 3 days later, Taijuan's now the interim manager. It's like, yeah, we're paying you anyways. You might as well do some work for us. The Castellanos reaction to this. You know, they've been very active on the timeline throughout Castellanos' career. I'd love to see the Castellanos family reaction to the Rob Thompson news. I can't wait to see if it happens.
Do you think Castellanos is popping a Presidente out there?
I think he might be cracking one.
That's a very fizzy.
Yeah, very fizzy.
President.
Very fizzy Presidente. Coming up, we want to hear from you at 610-632-0975 on your reaction to this one. I know we've had a lot of people jumping in, coming in with us. We talked to Ricky Bowe about it. We talked to John Marks about it. We talked to Luke Arcady. We're going to get a chance to catch up with Kevin Cooney in the 1 o'clock hour of 97.5 The Fanatic here. Obviously covered the Phillies for a very long time, still down there at the ballpark and cover a number of things with the AP. But we want to hear from you at 610-632-0975. Reacting to this news of Rob Thompson, does it excite you? Are you excited for Phillies baseball again? Is it enough to turn the tide for you? And on top of that, when we talk about this team at this point, what does this change for you? Like, is there anything you could get there? We want to hear if there is that. Because Sean Brace, excited. He's watching tonight. Me, I say it doesn't change my excitement, but I'm going down to the ballpark tonight because if it ends up being the Donnie baseball turned it around, I want to be there the night that it started to turn around.
Ooh, I like that angle.
That's why I want to be there tonight. I go for good debuts, and tonight is technically a debut of sorts. He's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunn. This is Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phillies are moving on. I am Patricia Caputo with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies have fired manager Rob Thompson after the team lost 11 of their last 12 games. Don Mattingly will take over as interim head coach for the rest of the season. Don Mattingly and the team will see if they can turn things around. All of that begins at 6:40 p.m. tonight as the Phillies will take on the Giants in Citizens Bank Park. The Flyers took a loss to the Penguins Monday night, making it their second straight loss. The Flyers still lead the series 3-2. Owen Tippett spoke about the pressure that comes with losing the last two.
No, like I said, we knew we weren't going to win every game, and we still have the 3-2 lead in the series. So obviously back in Philly, take it one game at a time and then go from there.
Flyers had the day off today, but they'll see if they can secure a series win in Game 6 on Wednesday. And the Sixers will try to avoid playoff elimination against the Celtics. Celtics currently have a 3-1 lead. Joel Embiid listed as probable. You can listen to Sixers Celtics starting at 7 p.m. live right here on The Fanatic. The Eagles picked up the fifth-year option for Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter Monday, and the Union have off until Saturday, where they will take on Nashville SC. This update is brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Every now and then you find a deal where you get more and pay less. Now that's a good deal. That's Straight Talk Wireless on Verizon's 5G network. Find it exclusively at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. I am Patricia Caputo on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
Welcome back in. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. Middays without Marks today. No Johnny. He'll be back tomorrow. Alongside Sean Brace, I'm Ray Dunn. Trish Caputo producing the program today. No Rob Thompson tonight for the Phillies. They get back into action against the Giants. And it's a very winnable stretch, like we keep saying. Like, this is the time for you to do something. Regardless of what you were going to do with the manager, what you were going to do with the head coach, whatever you're doing with the coaching staff, this is your opportunity to do something. It's just whether or not you believe this team rises up because of what they did today. And Rob Thompson was ultimately the one that goes when someone had to go. There was going to be an expectation that somebody had to go after a 9-19 start. The Red Sox really opened up the gates. I'm curious, how much longer do you think Thompson lasts if Cora was not the first to go? Like, do you think they wanted to be first in line? Because Cora kind of opened the floodgates for baseball in terms of, like, all right, usually teams like, hey, once you get into May, that's when you start making these decisions.
Yeah, that could have an effect on it, but I think every case is different, and right now it's a very drastic case. It's so ugly, and it's been a tough start to the season to say the least, and here they are just underperforming across all categories, whether it's hitting, pitching, bullpen, starters. It's just been ugly. And I think right now you had one opportunity to go ahead and with the day off and that schedule just easing up slightly, you're at home. It was the perfect time, perfect scenario, and that's why they're doing it. I don't think Cora being let go would have had an effect on it one way or the other.
He did get offered the job.
Well, that is interesting.
Like,
yeah.
I don't think they make this decision in anticipation that Cora is going to take it. Like, I don't think it's a 1 + 1 = 2 here.
Yeah.
Where, okay, we're struggling. Cora's now available. Let's fire Thompson to go get Cora entirely. But the fact that Cora is out there, the fact that you've started the way that you have, probably leaned a little bit in the idea they would be able to land him. Like, I think Dombrowski maybe in his mind, like, oh, that relationship will play. We'll bring him in. Would have been just an odd fit. And even a couple of years ago when they asked Dombrowski about it when they fired Joe Girardi, it was like, yeah, no, that's not really what we're planning on doing in terms of bringing anyone from the outside. It's going to be an interim when they first named Rob Thompson as manager.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they wanted to go down that thought process this time, but it's at least an interesting thought of whether or not Cora's availability changed the timeline for them. This was the time to do it because it was the day off. You had the opportunity to assess everything. You anticipate something was going to happen when they lost the way that they did to the Braves on Sunday. But Thompson's out. I'm curious what we got. Davis Honda text line 610-632-0975. In terms of reaction, we asked you the fun question of wrong answers only. Former Phillies player you'd want to be the manager. A couple of good. The Taiwan one was good. He would be a top step guy for sure.
Former Phillies player.
Former Phillies.
Okay.
I mean, what, you think the Eagles stepping in? Deshaun Jackson's a big baseball fan. He's proven himself as a coach.
Mark DeRosa. Come on down.
Oh, man. Guys are dragging.
Misread the calculation.
Misread.
Let's bring him in. I kid. My question about Don Mattingly is he a top step guy? Is he a guy that sits on the bench? Is he a guy that's behind the netting in the dugout? Where do you think he positions himself?
From the number of times they've cut to him in the dugout over the last week, which also good work by the good folks at NBC Sports Philadelphia. They got Don Mattingly's birthday in there where they were cutting to him. I was like, they fired Thompson mid-game last week. They were cutting it. I didn't have the audio on. I was out. I was like, can someone tell me why they're showing Don Mattingly right now? Did Rob Thompson just get, like, whacked mid-game here?
Mm-hmm.
He's been a stander. He's been standing a lot. He's been, like, obviously not being the manager. You're not sitting right in that manager spot. But he's been standing a lot down in the dugout. I'll be curious if he takes the seat of Rob Thompson or if he's kind of a pacer. Do we have a lot of managers that are pacers? You got to be paying attention. You got to get the scorecard going. It's just the difference of the bench coach.
Games are moving quicker.
And Dusty now the bench coach for you.
Yeah.
Dusty Watt moving to bench coach. Brought up the AAA. Love this. Bringing up the AAA manager to be the third base coach now. A whole bunch of moving parts today.
This season could not have been any worse as far as the start is concerned. It literally is the worst way that this season could have started. It has taken place. Fired the manager on April 28th.
Yeah.
And everybody's in agreement. Like, yeah, you had to do something.
Right. Ooh, Sean Rodriguez coming across as a former Philly. That'd be a manager. That's a good answer by someone. He was the worst. Everyone's everyone's pretty much in agreement something had to happen.
Mhm.
A lot of people are giving the nice guy butt treatment to Rob Thompson today, myself included. Nice guy, but something had to happen.
He deserves it.
Wow. Does he deserve it?
Yeah, the nice guy, but
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, he deserves losing his job. I was like, I thought the entire conversation about this. All right, we got a lot of angry Dombrowski texts. This is kind of where I want to go with this. Let's just roll through on the Davis Honda text line what you got for us, Trish.
Okay. So we have one texter that says, Phillies fired the wrong guy. Fired Dombrowski for all the drama with Harper, his lack of getting right-handed power hitting, and for his belief in bums like Bohm. Fire Harper's boy Kevin Long along with the pitching coach. Topper was the sacrificial lamb.
And that's one of the things with Kevin Long still being here. You can fire the manager they really like.
Mhm.
You still got the hitting coach they really like. I think it was yesterday we were talking about who you think will go, and I had said Thompson to me seemed like the most likely of them because Kevin Long and how much they like him, how much the guys like really, really appreciate him as their hitting coach. How much does it get their attention if it's just the manager? I get the manager's a big deal. I get they really like Thompson. But in terms of what he's doing for you in a day in, day out thing, like his calming presence is what you're missing. You've got the hitting coach that works with you every day. And I imagine Thompson does more than what I'm saying here. But it does kind of feel like for those guys, it's, oh, yeah, we still got, Kevin Long. Caleb Cotham's still here. It's not widespread change. You see what the Red Sox did. They took an axe to, like, most of the staff there.
Yeah.
How much does that catch their attention versus something like losing more guys? I'm just surprised Kevin Long's still here, I think, is more where I'm getting to.
Well, that's definitely going to be a question we're going to hear. And there's not a question that is off the table, right? When you are this bad, the run differential is the worst in the majors at minus 54. That's impressive.
It is.
That's really impressive. I think the next one up on the in that category is like minus 41 or something like that. So that's how great of
a lot of uncompetitive baseball. A lot of baseball that you've watched this year, do they have a shot tonight? Should I even keep the game on?
That's what I told you. On Sunday, it was 6-0. I'm just like, I can't. I'm not going to do this. Like, when you are this bad, underperforming, regardless of the expectations coming into the season, I got other things I need to do. And I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of other Phillies fans in agreement.
What else we got on the text line?
Another texter says, is this a Harper thing more than a Dombrowski thing? The front office acquired most, if not all, of the players Harper wanted and told the Phillies they needed to win the World Series with.
There's that. For everyone that, like, Harper runs the organization, this is definitely a strike against Harper running the organization because I don't think he's firing Rob Thompson. I don't think he's sitting there like, yeah, we need a managerial change. But JT, Harper buddies. JT gets a 3-year, $45 million extension. Obviously, we knew that there was the connection before with Castellanos that I think probably helped play that when Castellanos came here. Turner, that contract, what it looks like right now. Turner was a connection of Bryce Harper. He has his hand to play in all of this, as well as he's playing right now. What he does, his hand in trying to select guys to come play for the Phillies, certainly doesn't help his credibility right now. But I'm more interested in the dynamic between Dombrowski and Harper after they fire the manager that Harper appeared to like. That's like coming off of the...
I guess we only find out if he becomes the elite or he continues to be good.
Back and forth of this offseason, now that we're in this scenario and we're in this back and forth between, like, I can't imagine that conversation. We know how it went with Harper and the commissioner had a conversation inside the clubhouse last year. I don't think it was that heated, but I don't imagine the Harper-Dombrowski conversation today was a warm one, really receptive between the two of them.
I would imagine, and I hope it wasn't. There's no reason for it to be warm and fuzzy, other than the fact that maybe he brought up that Bryce Harper on this date back in 2012 made his Major League Baseball debut for the Washington Nationals.
Happy anniversary.
Smacked the double for Bryce Harper when he stepped to the plate. Back in 2012, a skinny Bryce with a mohawk / I don't even know what else you would call that, but almost like a mullet, too, as well. But, yeah, look, putting that to the side, serious, again, everybody needs to be uncomfortable. That's how bad of a start to the season it's been, and the answers aren't there, right? A lot of people are wondering if this is going to change. There's a lot of naysayers. I'm holding on to the pitching, and maybe that's what can galvanize this team to come together and lift it up and get things going in the right direction. But even then, that's begging, Ray. That's a term I use often, begging. I'm begging over here. That's what we're doing.
We're all trying to be hopeful here. Now, we got more on this Alex Cora thing.
Oh, I thought we were more begging more. But go ahead.
No, we're going to be begging more for sure. They lose tonight, the begging is going to reach an all-time.
Ray, tonight is a night that I feel very confident that the Phillies win. Minus 163. That number is now coming down.
Yeah, I was going to say, that got worse from the last time we talked about it.
You don't think twice here. The Phillies respond, and they find a way to win a game tonight.
I hope.
I didn't know if they remembered how to do the handshake line on Saturday. Honestly. Like, do they even remember what to do? They have all these secret handshakes. I'm like, you remember those handshakes.
They're very secret. No one can ever see them. All right, we got from The Athletic. This is Matt Gelb, Ken Rosenthal, and Jason Stark, all writing this story. Alex Cora declined offer to manage Phillies before job given to Don Mattingly. Here is the open of that story. Alex Cora turned down an offer to take over as manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. A person briefed with the matter told The Athletic on Tuesday when the club appointed Don Mattingly following the dismissal of Rob Thompson. After the Boston Red Sox fired Cora on Saturday night, the Phillies courted the manager in a swift and dramatic process that one person described as intense. Cora, 50, ultimately decided he wanted to spend the summer in his native Puerto Rico with his fiancée, Angelica, and twin sons, Xander and Isander, who turned 9 in July. His family also includes Dar from previous marriage. So basically, intense is the word.
Mm-hmm.
The connection between Cora and Dombrowski, however, may come to the forefront again if the Phillies find themselves in the market for a manager at season's end, which seems likely, because I don't think that you're going long-term here with Don Mattingly. The former Red Sox skipper figures to be a popular candidate among clubs for many teams. Mattingly is not expected to be a long-term choice for the Phillies.
Well, it doesn't surprise me because you heard Nightingale just going absolutely berserk and really emphasizing the point that there is that connection. We know it. The history doesn't lie. I get it. But it is a little surprising of where, like I said, it just comes off as a desperation.
This entire thing's desperate.
Now, is it desperate because Dombrowski feels like his gig could potentially, I hope everybody nobody's comfortable at this point in time.
You only get to fire so many managers.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, if the solution every time is, well, the roster I built is just not taken to this manager, we got to fire the manager. At some point, it will be you. I know you and John both believe that if this season goes off the rails, that Dombrowski's out of a job.
I do.
I just think that relationship between the two of them is too tight.
No, I just think you're going to have the impact will be felt by the fans. Of course, social media timeline right here on the Fanatic, on the airwaves, what's being said with Ricky Bo post-game.
Yep.
He's not holding back. The bullseye is squarely on Dombrowski's back at this point in time. And if this team continues to lose at the rate that they have so far throughout the course of this season, early as it is, I don't see how he's back at all.
And I'm not excusing Dombrowski's performance over this offseason. I'm just simply looking at it from the Middleton point of view and what Dombrowski would try to sell Middleton on. If you are Dave Dombrowski, you say, well, like $80 million coming off the books after this season. We made some mistakes. I don't think today he's going to drop
We have a good club.
But he might. There's a chance he says it today.
No shot.
Ooh.
No.
I'd like to make a wager.
Well, let's put a wager up. There's no
I'd like
way
to make a wager.
Dave Dombrowski steps up in the dugout. Is it going to be at the podium, you think, or is this a dugout?
I hope it's a dugout one, man.
No,
I hope he's got to be sitting up on top of one of the benches. It's going
to be in the
press conference room.
Correct.
But yeah.
All right, so he pulls up the chair. He slides up to the microphone. Him and Donnie baseball together.
But Donnie's coming up at 3:45. So first is
they'll
Dave.
Be separate.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dave, there's no way he says that we're a good club.
What would you like to wager on this
one? You're a man that enjoys a beverage or two, right? Let's put an ice cold 6-pack on the line.
All right, I like it.
Six-pack of your choice.
All right, sounds good. 6-pack of my choice. So does it have to be the exact words, we have a good club?
He needs to be speaking about the team in that manner that they are a good club.
Right, because I could see Like low, and this is why I don't want to talk you off the bet here when I start to go my Dave Dombrowski world here.
Nope, the bet's in. We shook.
All right, sounds good. We shook on this. Bet's made. Dave Dombrowski today. There's a chance at 2:45 sits there and says, we want to thank Rob for all these contributed to this team. We obviously had a nice run with him. He's a great baseball man, and there's a lot of respect for him inside of that clubhouse.
Okay.
We have not started well enough so far this season. That's apparent. We needed to take action to make a move here. And with that, we believe we still have the talent on this club to compete this season, and that this managerial change sets us up.
No.
Yeah.
That doesn't check the box. He's got to say we are a good club with the record of 9-19.
Well, do you believe it's a talented club right now?
Talented is not. We are a good club.
All right. So what's the difference here on this one? Patricia, please.
Patricia will be able to weigh in tomorrow, and she will be the ultimate decider.
Okay, I'm curious. So for you, what's the difference between him sitting up there and waxing poke about how talented they are instead of just saying we have a good club?
You could talk about expectations all you want. You could talk about, well, this is how I thought it was going to be, and putting these pieces together. Yeah, I thought we were going to compete because, in my mind, at the beginning of the year, we were a good club. He can't. There's no way that's going through his mind right now that they are a good club. No shot. He needs to pee in a cup if he would sit there and say, we are a good club.
Man, you are going to be down there getting pee in a cup.
I need a sample.
Yeah, you're going to be getting a sample. I would believe that if they believe that they are a good club, a club that can come out of this, you make this move, right? This is the desperate move you make. To see something to kick them in the rear end, to see them do something.
If you're trying to get me to your point of like, hey, he could say this, and you do expect him to say it, I understand where you're coming from.
Right.
I am willing to bet that he does not. Oh, there needs to be a big slice of humble pie. Like, this is not how we planned it. This has been a terrible start, and obviously it's not something we wanted to do. But drastic times, and now we got to do some drastic things here. And that's why we're removing Rob Thompson. Donnie Baseball's taking over. I do believe that this team will turn it around, or else we wouldn't have made the move.
Yeah.
Point blank in the story.
When you look at the back of the baseball cards for these guys, we have a good club.
The back of the baseball card. I love that.
I'm just priming everyone for this,
Okay.
all right? Because I'm going to be going nuts, too, when it happens.
He might get tackled by some media member if he says that. I mean that sincerely.
Who's the most likely on that beat to tackle?
I don't know. I'll pay anybody. If he says that we have a good club, I need Rob Thompson to be sacked.
What's the reasoning
Or
behind
not
that?
Rob Thompson. He was just sacked. I need Thompson to be sacked.
We also need to bring that term to American sports.
Yeah, getting sacked. I could dig it.
Yeah, Rob Thompson got sacked today.
That's a good call. I like that. As I'm wearing my soccer jersey here for Philadelphia Union.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who on that beat would be the best tackler. Who do we think's got the best form for that? I mean, I think sometimes the Gelb level of questioning could
What's
feel
the
like you're
reasoning
being
behind that?
tackled.
Yeah, you're
like,
right.
you know, the pure J journo on that one. I feel like that's a potential. Salisbury maybe. I feel like Salisbury could lay a hit if he needed to. You think?
I love it.
Yeah.
Good group.
Oh, what a great group. I'll be interested to see it today. But I want, all right, 6-pack of beer. I think he's going to tell you how good this team is today.
Okay.
And that they made this move because they feel like they need fresh perspective, something, yada, yada, yada. You know, obviously the start hasn't been good enough. But I will be upset when it happens. But I'm thinking it happens today.
Oh, I'd be furious.
All right. I know we have more angry Dombrowski texts, so I'd love to hear another one on the Davis Honda text line, 610-632-0975.
Okay, one texter. If the Phillies are ever going to get to a World Series within the next 5 years, they have to get rid of Dombrowski. Also, they very much need to completely overhaul their minor league system, one of the worst in baseball.
So the issue with getting to a World Series the next 5 years, getting rid of Dave Dombrowski, is he's locked in a number of these players for the foreseeable future. Like, next 5 years, Turner contract, still happening. Harper contract, still happening. This is year one for Schwarber of his deal. JT's, I say, is only 3, but I feel like that third year is going to feel excruciating by the time we get to it. Nola, that contract, does that look good right now? No. I mean, you're hoping that the Luzardo contract looks more like it did when he signed it. The Sanchez contract looks more like when they announced it. Those would be the two hopes that you have. But of the rest of the contracts, I can't imagine you feel like things are aging well. And it's interesting for me because even though like the run it back crew is obviously not looking great right now, you could compare the Phillies and the Mets off seasons. They did two totally separate things, and they're basically in the same spot right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where do you go from here? They need more cost-controlled talent on this team. To the texter's point about the minor league system, like, they need more cost-controlled talent. Part of that was supposed to be this daycare that graduated. And shout out to Brandon Marsh. He's holding his part of it, but
yes, he is.
He's only a platoon player. That's what he is.
It's true.
Stott was supposed to be more than a platoon player. That's all he is right now, and he's not hitting the baseball. Bohm, I feel like we're just picking on Bohm, but that's the case of it. Adolis Garcia has been a contract that's better defensively in right field, but what else?
And you can make the case that it's really on their shoulders more than anything. I get it. You get the big dogs. You're paying a ton of money to Trey, to Bryce, to Schwarber. Understood. But you got guys that are younger, that are considered in their primes, that you need them to do more than what they're doing. Bohm is worse than the team itself, which is really impressive if you look at it. I mean, statistically slashing, he is the worst at his position in the majors for a contract season. My man is literally lighting money on fire when he steps to the plate.
Yep.
Who wants him on that team next year?
Only person right now having a worse spring for their future is Jalen Duren. That's about it.
Yeah.
In terms of lighting money on fire.
That's it.
But, I mean, it has been brutal to watch this baseball team. So,
except for tonight.
Yeah, you're excited for tonight.
I am. Warm weather. You got buy one, get one dogs. You got a special hat promotion if you ended up scooping it up.
They throw Schwarber at leadoff.
Phillies are back at home. Nothing's working, Ray.
I'm cool with it.
All right, what's your number one lineup then? Because I would shake it up and change it. I told you
they tried it.
I would try Crawford. I don't think they've tried Crawford at the leadoff yet.
No, but he's also been bad for the last couple weeks.
Still, I need somebody that can actually tear it up on the base. But I'm throwing stuff up against the wall, right? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
I just want their best hitter to get the most plate appearances.
Yeah, so you would think like putting Schwarber at the 1 and Harper at the 2 is a good approach.
You could.
And then from there, fill it out.
Problem is, so lefty heavy. You want to hire so lefty heavy? Because the president of baseball operations didn't address the right-handed bat again.
Come on down, Dave Dombrowski.
We're going to talk to Kevin Cooney from here at 97.5 The Fanatic. Long time covering the Phillies. He'll talk to us coming up in the next segment. And we want to hear from you at 610-632-0975. Man, are you excited? Can you get excited? I feel like I need the get excited from Tom McGinnis. Can you? After the Rob Thompson news, we'll read more of your texts, get to your phone calls, your voice memos, 610-632-0975. Kevin Cooney coming up in the next segment, talking Phils. This is Middays Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies moving on. I am Patricia Caputo with your Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies have fired manager Rob Thompson after the team lost 11 of their last 12 games. Don Mattingly will take over as interim manager for the rest of the season. Tim Kelly joined the show earlier and explained how the players may feel about the change.
I think they're going to be upset and feel like they let them down, and we'll see whether that translates to them being able to move forward here and turn the season around.
Don Mattingly and the crew will see if they can turn this team around starting at 6:40 p.m. as they prepare to take on the Giants in Citizens Bank Park. The Flyers took a loss to the Penguins Monday night, making it their second straight loss. The Flyers still lead the series 3-2. They'll have the day off today, but they'll see if they can secure a series win in Game 6 on Wednesday. And tonight, the Sixers will try to avoid playoff elimination against the Celtics. The Celtics currently have a 3-1 lead. Joel Embiid listed as probable. You can listen to Sixers Celtics starting at 7 p.m. live right here on The Fanatic. The Eagles picked up fifth-year options for Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter Monday, and the Union have off until Saturday, where they will take on Nashville SC. This update is brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MADD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MADD-HELP or visit MADD.org. I am Patricia Caputo on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic app.
Night, Sean Bray.
What do you think I'm going to say, Ray?
I would say no.
Yeah. Yeah,
I would say no.
There's not a lot to like about the 76ers situation, a lot like how the Phillies have started, but they are 10.5-point dogs, which the number came down slightly. Catch the game right here on the Fanatic. 7-10. The ball goes up in the air. Again, I wish the season came to an end 2 nights ago. It would have been nice just to ride off on that 30-plus point loss. But I think we got to go ahead and do it again. There's no way that I think that this Sixers team is going to go up there and win. However, I don't know. Could the Celtics take the foot off the gas? I don't see it. 10 is a lot. 11's a lot of points. But, I just don't think that we're going to get another game in this series. I think that's better for everybody.
I did have some people after the game Sunday night saying we're going to see him back in Philadelphia. There were some folks, people that were holding out the hope that tonight they were going to get one. Some people were even Sixers and 7. But, yeah, a
lot of crazies out there, right?
Hard to imagine.
A lot of crazies on the timeline, a lot of craziness in the world.
Do you think there's a crazy on our phone line right now?
Who's on the phone line?
Oh, we got our guy Kevin Cooney.
Oh, Cooney.
Hear him on Philly Sports Night. Weekends here on the Fanatic. Obviously covered the Phillies for a number of years. Kevin Cooney joins us. Kevin, your instant reaction to the Rob Thompson news.
First of all, how drunk were those people that you interviewed that said there's going to be a Game 6 back in Philadelphia?
I think you heard him the other day.
Am I surprised? No. On Rob Thompson, I thought that it would happen, but I thought the trickle-down effect would be they would ask Topper to fire Kevin Long. Topper would not fire Kevin Long, and then both of them will be gone. The fact that Kevin Long still has a job, to me, just floors me at this point. And I don't get why you get rid of one and you don't get rid of the other. And I know there's the contract situation of the 3 years and all that. I know he's buddies with Schwarber and Harper and Turner. But to me, to not make a change at hitting kind of makes the managerial move, just deck chairs on the Titanic.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to Kevin Long, so would that be a move that you would make? It sounds like you would, Cooney, that it would have been a wholesale change in your mind, or how would you have approached it if you were the one in charge?
I would have probably gotten rid of Kevin Long in the offseason. I think that their offensive approach has suffered, and I get it. Part of it was they wanted to get Schwarber back here, and him and Schwarber have known each other since the Washington days when Schwarber was down there. And there's a lot of guys who like him, and I don't think he's a bad hitting coach, but it's not working here, Sean. It's not. And I think the two main examples, A and B, on this are Bohm and Stott. I mean, here are guys who have pretty much come up in the Kevin Long format, in the Kevin Long system, and they're regressing. And it's pretty clear, that's what a hitting coach does. The Harpers and the Turners and the Schwarbers and Real Muto to a degree, they're all established enough where you don't think you have to need the hitting coach to do anything more than fine tuning. With Stott and Bohm, those are the guys you go, okay, these are the guys that the hitting coach is really going to make an impact with. And over the last 2-3 years, Bohm's never added any power to that frame. I know he's had a ton of RBIs, but he's never really been in the right spot in the lineup. And Stott has regressed. I mean, remember when, and Ray knows this because he watches every game, remember when everybody was talking about, Bryson Stott being a batting title type of guy?
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's long gone. I mean, that's really long gone. So that's why I think the Kevin Long thing is more baffling than the Thompson.
For you, I know as on this station, probably one of the longest tenured Thompson supporters and one of the loudest Thompson supporters. How are you going to remember the tenure of one Rob Thompson as Phillies manager?
Well, he came in here after a mess with Joe Girardi, and he had one of the best runs in a sense of that 22 run with the stupid song and everything.
I saw your tweet.
But to me, I mean, that's it. I mean, you have to balance that with the what is, what they did against the Diamondbacks and falling apart, and how 24 after that hot start fell apart. I mean, I think when you look at everything involved with the Thompson era, yes, 4 straight playoff appearances, only manager in franchise history to do that as far as in those first 4 years. he's victimized a little bit because Dave Dombrowski got very complacent. The roster is the bigger issue. Topper will kind of go down in a lot of ways as a monumental figure, but he's also a figure. It's almost like Danny Ozark was back in the 70s of, wow, I got him to a certain point, but could never quite get him over the top.
Yeah, gave us the soundtrack, but never got the parade. So
We got a really good one.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one when it comes to Thompson and Dombrowski. I guess.
And the Dombrowski question is the one that's going to now take center stage the rest of this year. I know the Alex Cora stuff that, I had, obviously Nightingale reported earlier in the day. Like, if Dombrowski's not going to be here, why would Alex Cora come? And I think that's where maybe Cora wants to sit back and see what's going to happen next. But this is the main issue the rest of the season, in my mind, is whether Dombrowski comes back or if he goes off to Nashville and gets ready for the expansion team once the labor dispute stuff.
Man, I've heard a lot about this expansion team with Dombrowski. Is he I get it. He's been around the league for a long time. He's a name, but obviously hasn't lived up to the billing here so far. Let's just put it.
You don't want to go spend some of your, older years in Nashville? Doesn't sound like a fun time to you?
No, it sounds like a great time, but I think they could do better. That's my point. Yeah. Do better, though.
He also will have an ownership stake in this too. So,
okay.
I mean, he's
there
been there
it is.
since the ground floor.
Gotcha.
So that's, yeah.
That makes sense. All right, my last one to you is, I'm trying to find something like of a bright spot here, Kev. Am I wrong to believe that this pitching staff can be better, will be better? Oh, by the way, let's just talk about the schedule here, too. They got winnable baseball games. So right here, right now, I get it. It's desperation time. But am I wrong to believe that this pitching staff as a whole can be better?
Yeah, the pitching staff can be better because it can't be worse right now. I mean, can I see Chris Sanchez, giving up 10 hits in like 4 innings? No. Do I think that eventually Luzardo will get better? Yeah. But is Aaron Nola going to get better? Probably not. Yeah. The bullpen injuries, I think, are concerning. I think Brad Keller really hasn't lived to what you thought he was going to be coming in. Look, and the vibes for this team, Sean, have been off since they reported to Clearwater. Okay. And I lived through this. I heard a lot of the 2012 comparisons. This is 2012 all over again. It is. I mean, the vibes on that 2012 team were, all right, Howard was already out, then Utley got hurt on the way down and all that. And everybody kind of started to look around and say, what the hell's going on? That's exactly what this team has become. And I don't know you can bounce out of that real quick.
Well, on that encouraging note, Kevin, we'll all enjoy our summer, I guess.
All-Star Fan Fest will be fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Who's going to be the one? Who's going to be the one?
Who's going to be the one? The what? The next manager?
No, the Phillies All-Star.
The lone representee. It's got to be.
It's going to be Harper.
Oh,
It's
Harper.
going to be Harper.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. The showman gets to be the showman on the biggest stage.
Well, Schwarber will be in the home run derby too. He's got to be, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he said he would do it last year, so yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, there you go. That's
got
what you have
two.
to look forward to, folks, this summer. The All-Star game comes to Philadelphia. Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper take center stage. Well, Kevin, appreciate you making the time for us today. And, I'm sorry about your boy.
Yeah. See you at training camp, boys.
Kevin Cooney joined us to talk about Rob Thompson
The
being fired.
countdown is on.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, appreciate Kevin for stopping by and joining us. Man, well, it's been nice to get everybody's reaction. Not exactly a nice day in terms of the way I feel. I don't know. I feel kind of gross just in the fact that I wish this made me feel better about where this was going. I wish this was a manager where I was like, this guy's lost it. Like, where this team's lost it. I think the team's lost it. I don't know that the manager does anything for me. I think that's why today, like, maybe I would, if I was, there was probably some time where.
So I'm not doing a good enough job.
I would have had the teeth of like, yeah, I got him. Thompson, I don't really have that. Where it's like, what does this do for you? Not a ton. Not for me, at least.
Starts tonight.
Starts tonight.
Actually, it starts at 2:45 when Dave Dombrowski steps to the podium.
We have a good club.
I can't wait for the drop we get out of today. I can't wait for it, Shaw Brace.
Ice cold six pack. You know what I want, right? Dogfish.
Yeah,
The Grateful Dead, juicy. There you go.
I
That's
got you
what
with a couple Presidentes. Coming up, we got the YouTube chat recap. He's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunn. This is Middays Marks 97.5 The Fanatic.
Kincade and Salciunas, 6 to 10 a.m.
Go down to the ballpark
Tonight.
6:30,
6:45 first pitch?
6:40.
6:40.
6:40. You know how much I love the 6:40 first pitch?
How much?
I hate it.
Why?
Disgrace.
Yeah, I don't like it. We started doing it, what, because of the COVID? Was that the issue we started
And
doing
I guess
this?
the feeling for kids, that they should, get home sooner. The game's 2 hours now.
Yes, once the games got cut down, 7 o'clock is fine because 6:40, I'm not done with, like, John's
Dinner.
still washing dishes.
Well, he's washing dishes until at least the 5th inning, regardless.
John's washing dishes to the 7th inning stretch.
He actually just watches the whole game with the gloves on.
That's it.
Baseball players wear gloves out in the field. He's got the dishwashing gloves on all 9 innings.
Unbelievable. Yeah, no, honestly, yeah, your dinner, I'm a 6 o'clock dinner type of guy.
Right.
I try to, because if I eat it any earlier, that means I'm probably going to eat more as the night goes on. So if I eat at 6 o'clock dinner, I'm done by 7. I'm sitting on the couch, first pitch 7:05. Let's go.
You'll be really proud of me. I went grocery shopping on Sunday.
Yeah?
Because, the groceries really hadn't been stocked for a while there. And I'm having this thing where now that I have food in the house.
What do you got, boxes of cereal? Is
I'm
that what
eating.
you bought? Yeah, you're eating good.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I want the eggs, the bacon,
There you
the
go.
bagel, because then it motivates me to get out of bed. It's like there's something there for me to eat. Some yogurt, protein bar.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm rolling with breakfast food right now.
Good stuff, too.
Yeah, and then I got the cold cuts for lunch. And,
Nice.
and then I just don't assume I'll be home at night, so I don't really do a lot of the dinner.
Oh, right. You're making me hungry right now.
Yeah, I'm starving, if you couldn't tell, because I'm eating. I don't get hungry when I don't eat.
Save that appetite because you got buy one, get one free over there at, or not buy one, get one free. It's the buy one, get one.
Yeah, it's buy one, get one. Yeah, it's $5 for a hot dog at the game, so that's a deal. 2 for $5.
There you go.
Yeah,
2 for
no, the dollar dog's been dead.
Yes.
But thank God. For the first time this season, this would have been news a few years ago. Whenever they took away dollar dog, I said I'd never buy a hot dog at the ballpark again. I finally bought a hot dog at the ballpark again. I figured it would help turn the fortunes of the team.
Sure.
Me buying a hot dog at the game because I'm a lunatic. And it didn't. It actually didn't, but I probably will get the buy one, get one.
Yeah, take advantage of that.
Yeah. We'll see if I see another loss in South Philly because I was 0-3 this weekend, 4-8 at Phillies games this season.
Not tonight.
Not tonight.
Lock it in.
I think it still happens tonight.
You think they lose tonight?
Yeah. I just think that's where we're at.
That's bad.
Yeah. It's
not good.
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
No, give me a victory tonight. I like that.
I would love a victory tonight. But I don't feel it. I don't know what it is. Again, I wish I had today, I wish maybe I was like a Rob Thompson hater today where I felt vindicated. I'm just more depressed about where this baseball team's at. It's come to this. It's April 28th. They fired the manager.
Yeah, I wasn't like a big-time supporter of Rob Thompson. I didn't think he did much, but at the end of the day, his numbers are his numbers, right? The win-loss record, you can't defy that. And, of course, the back-to-back division pennants are hanging out there in the center field in Ashburn Alley, and, had the trip, took over for Girardi, gets into a World Series. There's a lot to like about Topper.
While I'm filing grievances here, and we have this, can we grow up with the whole 2023 flag out there?
What do you mean?
They didn't win anything. They just made it as a wild card team. They didn't win anything.
No, yeah, I'm with you. I want only division pennants, and when you represent the National League.
That's it. And World Series. That's it. Those three things.
Well, you got to win the World Series.
Yeah, but if you win the National League.
If you win the National League, you get that pennant. If you win the division, you get that pennant.
Right.
You don't get one for a wild card.
Right, I agree.
No, yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah, no. They don't deserve one for 2023. So can we take that down, please? Someone.
Just put the analog clock back up.
Oh, please, man.
Johnny Gallison, come on down.
Man, I hope he's on the concourse tonight.
He might be.
I think he will be. So, okay, a couple of things. Let's parlay this right now.
Merlot in hand.
Dave Dombrowski today gives us
We have a good club.
No shot.
Yep.
No.
We got Middleton sighting on the concourse to talk to fans. And something passive-aggressive from Harper. Is that like the 3-leg parlay for me today of things we're going to get in the next 6 hours?
Check all those boxes.
Yeah. All right. Let's check another box. Go to the YouTube chat recap.
It's time for the YouTube chat recap.
How about filling us in? Let me tell you something else, man.
Watch us live on YouTube every single weekday.
I can't lie. Let me tell you something.
It's the Middays with Marks YouTube chat recap.
What do we got?
If Topper is lifeless, then Mattingly is a corpse. Dawood from the YouTube chat.
Oh, man. Donnie Baseball hasn't managed a game for this
come
team
on.
yet. He's a corpse.
I almost spit water everywhere. Take it easy, Dawood.
Oh,
Give him an opportunity to get in there, manage a game, turn this thing around.
I can't wait to talk to my mom.
Why is he a corpse?
Well, because he's just and then they cut to him in the dugout. He's just standing there doing nothing.
He's not supposed to be doing anything.
Not yet.
Exactly.
My mom is thrilled about this news. I've already got multiple texts about Donnie Baseball, her favorite baseball player.
There's one.
Yeah, that's one person. She's excited about the Phillies.
Good.
Yeah, but that's about you're excited. Those are the
I
two
am.
people excited I know about the Phillies right now. What else we got?
I will unfairly judge Mattingly on how his lineup looks day one. Kobe from the YouTube chat.
Would be an all-time troll if he just rolls out basically Turner, Schwarber, Harper. Is there a lefty on the mound tonight? What do we got?
What is he going to do for that lineup?
They distracted me with the whole firing the manager thing. I didn't get to look at who the probable was for tonight.
It is a good call. We'll see how this one plays out.
But yeah, it would be funny if he just rolled with the same guys. Lizardo for the Phils. I mean, whether or not we're going to get the lefty or the righty lineup for the Phillies today. But yeah, like Felix Reyes is still hitting cleanup. It's like, oh yeah, no, this was a Dombrowski problem. That is his
We have a
bag.
good club.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what else we got?
The players should feel bad about costing a man his job. I've been calling for Rob to be fired, but the players are not blameless, and they know it. Larry from the YouTube chat.
Now they're full of blame. That's where the blame should go today. You're not blaming the guy that lost his job for him losing his job. You're blaming the people that couldn't do their job to protect his.
And they'll say as such. You know Harper's going to own it.
Yeah, I really am interested to see if he gets passive aggressive today. That's like now that we said that, I want to hear something where he takes a subtle jab at Dave, like a little like, hey man, this is kind of on you. Maybe what if he reversed fortunes here?
I guess we only find out if he becomes the elite or he continues to be good.
He's like, Dave Dombrowski's been an elite president of baseball operations throughout his career, but the job over the last couple of years has only been good. I guess we only get to wait to see whether or not he's elite or it's just good. All right, what else we got?
I think it's a move that needed to be made because I think he's gotten all he can out of this team. But he's far from the problem with this team. Kev from the YouTube chat.
I'm not going to go with that. He's far from the problem. He's part of the problem.
Right. But in turn, if we're doing the blame pie here, his slice is a lot smaller. Smaller than the players, smaller than the president
He
of
did
baseball
everything
ops.
he possibly could. He didn't get the job done. It's time to go.
Yeah, it was time to go. Someone had to go. I'm surprised it's just him, but
long season, right?
Yeah.
And you can't fire the players.
No.
Yet. You can trade them.
Well, you can.
You can trade them.
Taiwan Walker found that out.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't fire them all. Is the way that works.
Yeah. $38 million.
$38 million, man. Doing absolutely nothing. One more?
Dave has to be aware of the mocking he took for Good Club. MBD from the YouTube chat.
I totally agree with you on that.
Good club.
And that's why I believe it will be asked point blank to him today at the podium, do you have a good club? And he will say, Ray, this one's for Ray Dunn. He's going to say, at 97.5 The Fanatic, I hear them use that drop all the time. This one's for Ray Dunn and Middays with Marks.
For one final time.
We are not a good club.
Oh, I think he's going to say it. One final time for Robbie T.
We got a really good club.
That's all we got for you today. The boys coming up unfiltered next. We'll talk to you tomorrow.